This morning we say good morning to everybody watching us at home on mybeach.com.au and on Facebook Live. Welcome to the WA Surf League Race 1, Round 1 of this exciting concept here in Western Australia. We're down here on North Cottesloe Beach. I'm with Grant True. Good morning, Grant.
Morning, Simon, and morning everyone watching online. As Simon said, big day of racing today, and this is the first time we've had this team event to surf carnivals in Western Australia for quite a number of years.
True, if we can set the scene for people who are watching at home, it's going to be about 37 degrees in Western Australia today. In Perth, there's an easterly wind blowing across the sand and across North Cottesloe here, so very flat conditions out on the water. We've got a heap of events to get through today, so we're going live right through round one, right through the entire duration today. So, mate, you're an experienced surf club man. What sort of conditions, who will this suit today?
Yeah, look, this is not what you would call a typical surf carnival, very flat. So just keep an eye out for the speed demons today. So people like Reece Baker on the ski, he's an absolute powerhouse, and he's going to be definitely one to watch. Also look at in the swim for the likes of Simon Hootengar, and then we're going to be looking at the boats as well. So North Cott in the men's, City of Perth in the women, and it's going to be an absolute drag fest today.
So if we look around on the beach, and we'll have a little look at what's behind us here. Slightly different from a normal surf championship that you'd see, True. We just have one water arena today, a boat arena, and then the beach arena as well. So if you just look behind us, we're not far away from our Taplin relay getting underway. We have 15 teams from the different West Australian surf clubs about to kick off with their first event this morning. But just explain to us how those arenas and those different sectors will work.
Yeah, so our most southern arena today, so off to my left, we've got the so that's going to be where we've got sprints and flags. At the moment, we're in the central arena, so all the water events, skis, Ironman, Taplin, board, and then just behind the camera at the moment, we've got the surfboat arena. So we're going to be kicking off with the Taplin very soon, and 8-person Taplin, a little bit different to what we've seen in the past. Going to have 2 swimmers, 2 ski paddlers, 2 boards, and 2 runners. So one of each, and then we're going to be moving on to the boat races.
So, folks, if you are at home watching us on mybeach.com.au or on Facebook Live, welcome to North Cottesloe Beach. To all the people who are down here on the beach today listening to Grant and I, we'll be talking non-stop, mate, because we're going live onto people's through the internet into people's homes today. So a little bit of a different commentary style today. We hear the guys down on the beach taking their first instructions for the first Taplin Relay Grand Final. So your club, City of Perth, are involved as well. You can see the club room from space. It's that big. Sorrento in there as well. Trig, of course, the mighty Trig, Cottesloe, the Rampant Swans, Sorrento, Freo, North Cott, Mullaloo. So everyone, and Trig with a couple of teams as well. So everyone well represented, and the atmosphere is starting to build, mate.
Yeah, it is good. As I said, lots of teams, and good to see even some of the smaller, non-traditional competitive clubs putting teams in today. So just running through the teams for the overall points today. It's going to be very hard to go past the 3 big teams. So City of Perth X, North Cott A, and Trig Island A. So we're going to see North Cott well represented in the boats, both males and females, and their male beach sprinters. They're really going to be the ones to watch. So Tommy Nolan in the sprint and the flag. Trig Island A, very strong in the water events, particularly in the male. So the ski, board and Ironman, they're going to be extremely hard to take any points off them today. And probably the overall balanced team, so City in the boats for the females, 2 very good crews rowing today. Female beach sprinters in Gabby Murphy leading that charge is going to be very strong. And then into the water. Even their second team today, I think, will be taking points off the first team. So extremely competitive, but keep an eye out for City of Perth, North Cott and Trig Island.
So as Grant True said, we're just about to get underway with our Taplin relay. For those people who are down on the beach today, make sure you've got plenty of sun protection on. It's going to be warm today. We'll just get our camera to pan over the conditions if we can. You can see the Indian Ocean behind us looking absolutely magnificent today. As True said, this will be a one for the fast guys today. Very, very flat, no swell whatsoever. And if we just look out there today, we've got this oil rig off the coast too at the moment in Western Australia. That's just getting some maintenance out there, the Ocean Monarch, and that's going to be there for the next couple of months getting some maintenance. So a nice backdrop here for round 1 of the of the Surf League. So not far away, Truey. The guys going down to the water now. Everyone's done their warm-ups. Everyone's good to go. Warm-ups pretty important for the athletes, aren't they? They've all had a bit of a swim and a bit of a jog and getting themselves moving.
Yeah, absolutely, especially in today's conditions. So dead flat, so there's no time to even get a bit of a warm-up going out through the chop. So it's going to be flat out straight from the start. And we're just looking at the ski paddlers getting themselves on the line. And 3 notable ski paddlers here today. Reece Baker, absolute machine. He's probably one of the strongest ski paddlers we've seen in Western Australia for a number of years. But he's going to have a bit of a battle with the 2 paddlers from North Cott. We've got Jesse Phillips and Stephen Bird, both Olympians in the kayaks. So you have a look at their technique, and I think those 3 competitors will be the one leading out this Open Taplin.
Thanks, Grant. So if you are at home, mate, you might like to consider coming down today. If you're watching us at home on mybeach.com.au or on Facebook Live, you might want to get yourself down here because it is a beautiful day down here on the beach. We'll might go for a little walk amongst the competitors here. You can just see the guys from all the different clubs, the different team names for the clubs getting ready for this first Taplin relay. And as always, getting instructions from the beach officials. And they're not far away from getting underway today. Welcome back, folks. If you are watching us online, nice to see you all. Grant True and Simon Beaumont with you today down on the beach. We'll take you through the next few hours, True, of plenty of action. Of course, Western Australia gearing up for a really big summer of surf racing. We've got 3 of these particular events in the WA Surf League, but the Australian titles, the Aussies come back to Scarborough again this year, True. So big year for WA Surf.
Yeah, look, lots of the local competitors. We're all really excited about the Aussies being back in Perth. We do a fair bit of travelling. A number of the top competitors do a lot of travelling over east each year. And to have a home beach advantage and to be able to just put the board and ski on the roof and head down to the Aussies, it's fantastic. And all the young kids in Western Australia really love it with the Aussies over here, seeing all the superstars. We've already mentioned Phil Clayton and TJ Hendy already here today. So yeah, it's going to be great for the sport in Western Australia. And I know that the Aussies are always live streamed as well. So you're watching this today, you'll be able to tune in April next year and watch the Aussie titles live from Perth.
And you'll be ready for it. You'll be getting your club all organised for the Aussie titles, of course. The Scarborough area being redeveloped, and so we should be able to get a car park down there. Let's hope the coffee machines are working this time around, and you'll be buying a new stubby holder probably, because a fair bit happens socially as well when the Aussies come around, isn't there, Truey?
Yeah, it is a lot of good fun. As you mentioned, I'm down at City of Perth, and we're not too far away, so each night we have a bit of a team meeting, and the competitors go home and have a rest, and the people helping out usually stay and have a few cold ones. But look, it is great. We've also got a big contingent of WA Masters competitors who will be probably doing some training hopefully soon over the next few months, and they'll be getting their speedos on and having a race, probably reliving some of the old memories that they used to have when they were younger.
Down here at North Cottesloe, folks, this is round 1 of the WA Surf League. We're about to get underway. To all the people down here on the beach, we will keep talking because we are going live today through Facebook Live and mybeach.com.au. So a slightly different commentary format for all of you today. This is a live broadcast, so not far away from the first to the start. So one of the things Truey, that is always awesome about surf is the number of officials and volunteers who are involved. But this is a big day for the coaches as well, isn't it? All the coaches from the different clubs, and we see them with their charges now. So big day for the coaches and the sort of the training staff as well, right?
Yeah, that's right. We've already had a couple of the smaller series. We've already had the first full carnival, but this type of carnival for the coaches really to just to see where their competitors are at. Some of these competitors, they'll only be doing one race today, which at a normal carnival, they'll go through 4 or 5 races, maybe more. But we're going to see some of these competitors just putting it all on the line in one straight final today. Some of the competitors, like the Jade Mickles, they'll go around the course 5 or 6 times. But we're also going to see some of the specialists, for example, like the Reece Bakers and Simon Hootengar swimming. They've got one race, and it's all on the line for them.
all in readiness down there on the water's edge, Truey. So we're not far away from seeing the first of our events today in the WA Surf League. So a bit of camaraderie down here on the beach. We might move down here, folks, so you can get a little bit closer to the action as the guys take to the water. So we'll go into the starters' hands shortly, Truey. We go with the Taplin relay. All the different teams. There are 15 different teams involved today, and I hope wherever you are watching us online today, you get a sense of just how exciting this is for WA Surf. So, about to make a start, Truey.
Yeah, look, as I said, the Taplin, the first leg is the men's ski, and just keep an eye out for the guys with the white caps. So Jesse Phillips, Stephen Bird, they're filling 2 of the spots there, and Reece Baker as well. I think he's down off to the left. So keep an eye out for this start. Flat out, off they go.
All right, first of the event's away, folks. Give them a big cheer as they head off. And Reece Baker got a nice little start there. So, True, we'll come back to you in just a moment. For the people who haven't seen Taplin before, tell us what this format's about.
Yeah, so today's a little bit different for the Taplin. Normally for the men's Taplin, it's 2 ski, 2 board and 2 swim. But today we're adding in a run. And so we've got a male and a female ski, male and a female swim, male-female board, and then a male-female run. So extremely good test of a club's depth. And as I predicted, it looks like it's probably Jesse Phillips out in front at the moment with Reece Baker and Stephen just on their tails. So 1-2 at the moment for North Cott round that first can, closely followed by Trig Island, and that's probably Josh Maurice as well from the first City of Perth team. Just coming up on the outside of them right now.
Normally the Taplin relay, we normally see it at the end of a surf carnival, the end of a surf championship. It's where the clubs get to join forces, and it's a very popular event, isn't it, Therese? And we kick off with it today, and the club's well and truly engaged with this. Hey, you're always an Olympian, aren't you, Trui? No matter when you competed, whether it was 2004, 8, 12, whenever it was, you're always an Olympian. We've got a couple of them out there now.
Yeah, that's right. And Surf Lifesaving's always had a good representation of swimmers and ski paddlers at the Olympics. Quite often the entire Australian kayak team also represents Surf Lifesaving clubs in the off-season. And a number of swimmers, for example, Simon Hooten just missed out this year, but I know he's going around again. So as we see the competitors coming in now, that looks like Stephen Bird and Jesse Phillips and Reece Baker there, followed by Josh Maurice from City of Perth. So you have a look at these guys get up. I think they're going to be handing over to all their runners. No, they're actually running themselves, so this is going to really be hurting. Nice long flat paddle, and then have a look at the big boys there coming through. So Steve, Reece, Jesse and Josh Maurice filling the first 4.
Yeah, so back out into the water now, the swim leg. So that's good work from Reece Baker. He used all his experience there, doesn't he? A gun paddler, but he really looked good on the sand as well. So Wade, this is a crucial leg, this one, Truey.
Yeah, so probably the swimmers to watch out of those top 4. Callum Smith from Trig Island, very good swimmer. But just have a look on the left-hand side. I mentioned Simon Hooten before. So one of Australia's top 10-kilometre open water swimmers. And it's probably a little bit short for what he's used to. But you watch around the top of these cans and on the back leg in, he's going to be chewing them up. So probably taken a few metres off already. But it looks like North Cottesloe and Trig Island still well out in front at this stage.
So Simon Hooten on the left in the City of Perth cap, as Truey said, the gun distance swimmer. Every Friday he used to do a 10K time trial up at Beatty Park, Truey, the big pool in the City of Perth. Can you imagine going to training knowing you've got to swim 10K in a swimming pool every Friday? That'd be something, wouldn't it? But Hooten now starting to come across to try and get some feet. Swimming in his own water there, Truey, but they go around the cam. But the City of the Trig boys, the Trig cap still out in front by the looks of things. So Hooten has moved himself into 4th place there.
Yeah, good swim, and another swimmer from City of Perth. Probably looks like Gallagher there joining them in that top 5 pack. But Simon Hooten, as I mentioned, probably only 1 metre off, and he's going to be getting some assistance now as he sits on the feet of, I think that's Andrew Ford, from North Cott. So Simon's just coming up. Callum's still well out in front by probably 2 or 3 body lengths. But just have a look at the rest of this field coming through. So these swimmers halfway in, absolutely no assistance. It's like swimming in a pool. So maybe that's what Simon's thinking. This is the last 500 metres of a 10K time trial. So right up on Callum's feet now, and putting their team in a very good position for the board race.
Yeah, great swimming from Hootengar, gets himself onto the feet of the leader, so that's the fastest swim time out there today, but he finds himself in second place now, so Trig Island and City of Perth making their way back to the sand here at North Cottesloe. For everyone watching us at home on mybeach.com.au, welcome. This is the first event of the round one of the WA Surf League. It's a good swim from those two guys, so Trig out in front, Truey, and Simon Hootengar, as you picked. Looks magnificent, doesn't he, when he's in full flight. We get to see him up close today. Hootengar about to stand now in second spot, but Trig still holding sway at the front of the field.
Yeah, look, and these swimmers now turn into runners. And have a look at Callum just striding out there. Big, tall young fella. And he's managed to hold off Simon there. So straight back into North Cottesloe. And then the second and third teams from City of Perth. So they're going to be handing over to their board paddlers. And I think that's Kelton from Trig Island handing over to, Simon handing over to young Riley Walker. Very good board paddler. Did well at last year's state championships. So this is going to be another great leg. So absolutely no assistance. It's a dead flat slog out there. And we just see Ethan Jackson joining, probably just trying to jump on the wash there of Riley. But absolutely no assistance. So going to be tough racing for these guys all day.
So the first of the Taplin events today, we do see the club going club on club here. North Cottesloe pushed themselves up into fourth, so the home club here, Truey, the distinctive blue and white colours of North Cottesloe, moved up into fourth spot after a strong swim there. But at this stage, Trig Island and City of Perth 1-2 in the Taplin, the first of our events today. Good conditions, just going around the can now. The board is just starting to spread out a little bit here, Truey, but still reasonably bunched. There's a group of four board paddlers there, just going around the top of the apex now.
Yeah, look, I think the wonderful thing about this race is it really does test the depth. So for those viewers watching from home, are all on their iPads or the laptops, there's a fantastic vibe down here. A lot of the other team members, especially the females who are waiting for their legs to start, they're all cheering on their competitors. So in the board, still Trig Island well out in front. And as I said, no advantage at all. And we're just going to probably have a talk to one of the competitors and see how it was out there.
Yeah, he had a great swim. He's famous for a distance. It's probably a little bit short for him today, but Simon Hootengar is with us here from the City of Perth. How was that, mate?
Yeah, it's definitely too short. Pretty sure they've just shortened that since after the warm-up as well.
So, mate, you powered home. You came home in second, but get to blow the cobwebs out. Do you like this format? We can see the girls getting ready to go off on their ski. How's the format for you?
Yeah, it's way more exciting than like last week's carnival. There's so much more hype around, and yeah, it's bringing a few more people down, which is good.
Simon Hootengar with us, folks, from the City of Perth. So Trig still holding sway, but give him a big cheer as he comes through. Hoots, who's this bloke? How's he going?
So yeah, we've got the first lot of the runners. They're just tagging over onto their female ski paddlers. So we mentioned that this really does test the depth of a club, and particularly this race, the first race for round one of the Surf League. Lots of young competitors, but also lots of older competitors here. So there's probably about 7 or 8 competitors that were going around when I was still racing, and these are some of the legends that I used to look up to. We've got Glenn Eldon racing later on today. We've got Nikki Scott from City of Perth. She'll be racing her daughter in the same race, so that's going to be an interesting race. And then I also heard that Stan Davies might have been having a paddle today. So lots of young competitors, but lots of legends of surf lifesaving Western Australia taking on their younger counterparts later on.
So the bulk of the female ski paddlers now out on course. We still see Trig Island out in front with City of Perth in second. Simon Hootengar reckons there may the swim course may have been shortened, which would further dent his hopes and chances. He'll be swimming later on as well in the pure swim leg. I just saw Tommy Nolan coming out of the water, the gun sprinter. So he's been out there having a board paddle as well. So the female swimmers now go down onto the beach, ready for their swim leg today. As we see, the first two ski paddlers are around the apex there, Truey. So they make their way back in. Trig, you picked it. Trig would be pretty strong in this event, and at this stage they're still out in front.
Yeah, so we're now back into the ladies with the ski. So, yeah, Trig Island still well out in front. Phoebe George from City of Perth in second place. Very good paddler. She'll be looking to close out. But I think the move in this race is going to come down in the next leg, the swim. So we've got, you would have seen her in the newspaper a couple of days ago, Jade Mickle, very strong swimmer. Won numerous Australian championships with her board rescue partner, Jade Hardstaff. I think that we might be seeing maybe a new challenger for the fastest woman in the water this year with Madeline Thompson from Trig Island. So lots of pressure. She had a great race in the first round. I think she might have even beaten Jade last year. So just have a look at the Trig Island swimmer to the north of the field, and then down to the left in Jade Mickle. So in 1 and 2 at this stage, a lot of work there for the second team. But just have a look at Madeline Thompson try to just really push some authority on this race now.
So an important part of the Taplin Reno, the first of our events here at North Cottesloe. We see the first of our ski paddlers, female ski paddlers, and that's a very strong paddle from Trig Island. She makes her turn now, and she's about to hand off. These changes are all important, True. These are the bits where the spectators are all around the athletes. It's very exciting.
Yeah, absolutely, and the athletes do love getting a good cheer when they're running around the back leg of the Taplin. So make sure you do keep cheering them on. And those watching from home, we hope you might get a chance to follow some of your favourite competitors over the course of this 3-race series. So huge gap there for Madeline from Trig Island. She's just heading off a little bit right, so she's just going to adjust that course back to the left. But have a look at this chase pack, City of Perth, North Cott, and then the second team from Trig Island. So as I said, very strong depth there from Trig Island, and we're going to have to see just how long Madeline can hold her off. But as I said, fantastic swimmer. She's a well-regarded tube swimmer, so the short course will favour her today. And we're going to have to see just what work is needed by North Cott and City of Perth.
Yeah, so Madeline Thompson from Trig Island swimming very, very strongly. Simon Hootengar, the gun distance swimmer, mentioned this is a pretty short course, so we're probably looking at around about 200 metres or just between 2 and 250 out there today. So Madeline Thompson makes a turn, and you see her from side on, folks. If you look out now, you see Madeline Thompson from side on. Magnificent. Looks good in the water, doesn't she, Cherie? Just a really high stroke rating. Big kick there, going absolutely flat out. So she's redlining out there and building a nice little lead. That lead will extend on the sand.
Yeah, absolutely. And she's just turning that can now, and she's swimming straight into a headwind. So while there's no chop, it's actually easy to see the cans on the way out. On the way in, with the glare of the sun and the spray from your hands, it's actually a little bit difficult to see where you're actually going. So as the swimmers make their way in, we talked about the variety of youth in this competition. This is where we're going to see Nikita Friedmont from Trig Island as their #1 paddler. So I think she was competing in Nippers last year, around 14. So one of the youngest competitors today, and one of the more experienced competitors today in Nikki Scott for the second city team there. So youth versus experience. I won't say age, but youth versus experience. And it is great that so many clubs can get their masters competitors to support their younger competitors.
So two of these stars of surf here in Western Australia. We see Madeline Thompson from Trig Island making her way back to the beach. Very strong swim from her, just starting to relax and stretch the stroke out. Not kicking quite as hard, True, now as she comes into the sand. And Jade Mickle in second there from the City of Perth. So we see Madeline Thompson making her way now. Her teammates up on the sand, as you said, she's looking into the sun, so they've got their arms up to make sure she arrives safely. That's a really strong performance from her. So Trig have got themselves into the lead during the swim leg today, True, during the men's swim leg. Nice little wave there for Maddie, and she heads up to the beach now. So gets a cheer as she comes out. So Trig Island now making their way. So give Maddie a big cheer as she comes through, folks. Make some noise. That's a great swim from her. A good swim too from the City of Perth. So Jade Mickle comes through as well. We need some marshals for our beach sprint, for the beach sprint, the men's beach sprint, if you are on the beach. So Truey, looks like Trig still well out in front here. They've extended their lead.
Yeah, look, I'd say they're going to be extremely hard to beat now. That's probably a 20 to 30 metre lead, but just have a look at City of Perth there. I think that might be, I'm not sure who their first paddler is, but the last of the water events for the Taplin, and they'll be handing over to their beach sprinters. So while the beach sprint component of this race is extremely important, with this type of lead, I can't see anyone knocking Trig Island off this morning.
Folks, if you're watching and listening at home, this is round one of the WA Surf League. We're down here at beautiful North Cottesloe Beach. 3 rounds of course. Trevor Hendy Jr. is in the house today. TJ Hendy won the first of the Kellogg's Ironman Series this year, the National Series, so he's here. Phil Clayton, the legend, is here as well. We have one. This is our major water arena now. We can, just looking out, we see Trig Island have made their turn and heading back in towards the beach now. So good, strong performance from Trig Island in this event.
Yeah, look, and we've already said Trig Island look like they might have first place wrapped up, although the City of Perth competitor has made a little bit of a dent in that lead, but I think the race to watch at the end of this is going to be 3rd through to 6th place. So 3, 4, 5, 6, all neck and neck. 2 teams from a City of Perth, North Cottesloe, and then the Trig Island second team. So it's going to be some fantastic racing. So I'd say Trig Island, very hard to beat. City of Perth, their ex-team, will come in and get second points. But we're going to come join Madeline for a bit of a chat, and then we'll come back and watch this final positions.
Yeah, Madeline Thompson down here from the mighty Trig. Show the camera your surf hat. We love that colour, the Trig hat. City of Perth bloke up there on the microphone, and he just keeps mentioning City of Perth non-stop, True. But how was the swim? Simon Hootengar was whinging it was a bit short. How did you find it?
Yeah, it's a bit short, but it's nice. You know, stopping up between the distances every carnival. Just giving it all I've got.
You were going really hard. Big kick, big stroke rating going out. Relaxed a bit once you got around the can as it went, but you knew you had some good swimmers behind you, didn't you?
Yeah, you know, I knew like all those girls were just chasing me out of the field. You know, just had to give it my all to try and open up that gap a bit more.
So this is it's a great format, isn't it? Are you excited about this and the rounds to come?
Yeah, I think Surf League's a really good way. You know, just to get that bit more racing experience as well as like your normal carnivals. You know, everyone racing just for their clubs.
Well done, Matty. Go Trig. Thank you for today. Well done.
Thank you.
Down here for round one, we will go back to Chewy to keep us up to date with the race and how it's going. Beach sprint not far away, Grant.
Yeah, look, beach sprints, some of these runners have already had a warm-up in the Taplin, and we just look to 3rd place just handing over. So as I said, extremely close, 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th, and North Cott just coming in on 6th spot there, Mullaloo and Fremantle filling the next 2 spots. So really good to see. We're going to see some really good Fremantle boat crews later on. Mullaloo have got a couple of good boat crews, as we see Megan Slattery just finishing off in a 5th place there for one of the city teams. And we can now, just looking south of us today, the beach sprinters are getting themselves organised.
Yeah, so if you are listening to us at home today at mybeach.com.au, Grant True and Simon Beaumont with you, talking non-stop through all the activities today down here at North Cottesloe. Warm day, 37 degrees expected in Perth. We're just seeing the runners coming through now off the board. And good atmosphere down here, lots of support between the clubs. This inter-club format, very popular, very successful. 15 different teams going around, a couple from some of the stronger surf clubs. Go Ellie is the call down there for the Mullaloo team. So we'll keep you informed with all the action today. We are just seeing the closing stages of the first of the Taplin relays today. We're about to head over to the beach sprinting arena. This beautiful, famous, historic beach, North Cottesloe Surf Club. One of the older clubs in Western Australia, of course. Probably just a couple of k's away from the Cottesloe Surf Club. Strong rivalry. All right. Grant True heads off to the boat arena, and we're not far away from the start down there, True, so he'll bring us all the action. Very strong boat crews here in WA, as our viewers and listeners will know, and we have a start down there, True, so the boats head off.
Yeah, thanks, Simon. So we're still in the semi-final stage down here for the boats, and looks like the open men there. So as I said before, North Cott, the home club today, extremely strong when it comes to surf boat rowing. But we've probably got a couple of city teams who will be challenging them for the mantle today. So big field here today, 6 across in this semi-final. And we've got, looks like it's Mullaloo, Northcote, City of Perth, Northcote, City of Perth, and then down to Sorrento at the far end of the course. So really tough racing for these boaties today. They'll find that when they get out around those cans, there's just no oxygen. The wind's blowing offshore, it's fairly warm, fairly light, and their lungs will be absolute screaming. So we're picking these open male boat crews up, probably 7 to 10 strokes before their turn. So as I mentioned, tough rowing today. Not really easy to get any much of a lead, and it's going to come down to turns and skills. So we see, as predicted, Mullaloo and North Cottesloe turning first. So Mullaloo probably in second place at this stage, Northcote shadowing them on either side. But just have a look at these boats straight into an easterly, and they've got to get themselves all the way back in. So no assistance, tough rowing, and definitely different to what some of these boaties are used to. But just have a look, Mullaloo still extremely strong there on the to the left of our course. But Northcote, they're now starting to put the pedal down. You can just see the rating there, just picking up from the North Cottesloe crew in the middle. And I think they're going to be coming up onto Mullaloo. But Mullaloo still very, very strong at this stage.
Well, for everyone listening at home or watching at home on mybeach.com.au, we are down here on the beach for round 1 of the WA Surf League, and I've got 3 supermodels here on the beach with me today from different. How you going, mate? Tell us your name and your club. How are you enjoying today?
Oh, Nick Dart, Freo Surf Club. Yeah, it's pretty fun. Good to race against the older guys, get a bit of experience.
How's Freo looking today, mate? You got a big contingent here?
Yeah, pretty good. Quite a few people over all the different events.
What about you, mate? You got the big smile on you. Good to go. You in good form today for today?
Yeah, I hope so. I don't know what to say.
All right, no, that's okay. Just answer my questions. Which club are you from and what's your name?
I'm TJ from Fremantle as well.
All, right, all the Freo guys are here as well. And how are you going?
Yeah, good, thanks. I'm Annabelle and I'm from Freo as well.
All right, so all the Freo guys here. Good conditions today, isn't it? Like nice and flat. Are you enjoying this particular format? Bit of a crowd down here, a bit of shouting and yelling. It's good fun, hey?
Yeah, it's a bit different. It's nice to race with the boys. We don't very often get to do a big taplin like that, so it's really good fun.
What events have you got today?
That, and I got the ski race as well.
All right, good luck. Thanks for talking to us. Thank you. Three guys from Freo here. And TJ is going to get his interview up for the next round 2, mate. We'll come back, all right? You'll be ready next time. Be well prepared. Let's go back to Truey. He's down there on the boat arena. Thanks, Truey.
Yeah, so fantastic row there from the Northcote A team. So I picked them as one of the stronger teams overall today, and their boats have got them off to a fantastic start. So probably 2 or 3 boat lengths there. They looked fairly comfortable in the end. So they're probably saving something for the final. So Northcote A did very well. Mullaloo Gold, they were leading it halfway, and they might have just backed it off a little bit to save something special for the final later on. And then in third place was Northcote B. So as predicted, Northcote in the men's boats, extremely strong today.
All right, for everyone listening at home on mybeach.com.au, watching the action round one of the WA Surf League. We just had the Taplin relay. We're about to get underway with the beach sprint. We've just seen the semi-finals of the boats as well. I'm here with one very proud parent in Peter Waterman. The Waterman name, well known in Western Australia. Gun netballer, folks, gun netballer. Hubby, of course, the premiership player for West Coast. And the Waterman name, they play footy, they do surf, they do everything, don't they?
They do. I just don't have a netballer. So, you know, I'm probably glad they don't play netball. Yeah, this is a fantastic concept, and it's great. Ben gets to compete against the best swimmers in the state, so it's a good experience for him.
They're expensive, your kids, aren't they? Lots of training, they eat lots of food, lots of meat, lots of stuff. But very active family that you've got. Tell us about him.
Ben is great. He was lucky enough last year, swam the English Channel with his school. He loves to run, he loves to swim. So, and you know what, I'll support them because it's the lifestyle we have here in WA. We've got the best beaches in the world, so why not use them?
With Peter Waterman down here talking about Ben and the Waterman family. Come in here, mate, come and have a chat. Go up against the big boys today. How you feeling?
Oh, it felt great just like have the experience, and even though like it's not about winning, it's just like getting the experience for when you're older, and like it was great.
The mates swam the English Channel, hey? Ben Waterman down here on the beach with the swam the English Channel. How was that?
Oh yeah, it was so good, but the toughest part was the coldest, but like it's all mental. And it's just like you had to think warm thoughts, and that's all we're told, and like from there on it was so good.
You got the Waterman genes, your dad Chris, gun footballer, your mum was a gun netballer, you got the Waterman genes. Who's going to be the most successful out of the Waterman boys? Come on, put yourself on the line.
Probably Jake, because he's at the Eagles and he's got the best life probably.
Mate, good luck today. You enjoying this particular format?
Yeah, it's so good to just race the open. It's just everyone goes against everyone.
Well done, mate. Give the home club and the home coach a shout. Who are we shouting out today?
Probably Andrew, who's the manager at Sorrento, and my coach Pauline.
Well done. And Peter, thank you. Thanks for having a chat. Good luck today, Ben.
Thank you.
Down here with the Waterman family. It's surf is about people, folks, as you would know if you're watching at home. Lots of officials and coaches and different people down here today. So, and the Waterman's just one of those families from Sorrento. And good luck to Ben and everyone else down here today on the beach. This is round one of the WA Surf League. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you're watching.
Thank you, Simon. And as I called before, the finals or the semi-finals have been run and won in the male and female boats. So we're going to be kicking off, I think, with the B final very soon. These boats just getting themselves in line. Very hot conditions today. And just have a thought about this. After these early races, a lot of these boat crews will actually turn around and race in the Surf Boat Rowers League race, which is on straight after today's event. So surf boats getting themselves organised for finals. We see the beach sprinters getting themselves set with some of the early heats, and then I think we're moving on to the open male and open female surf ski races. So really hot, just starting to warm up. I think that breeze has dropped a little bit. So competitors and spectators, family, make sure you stay in the shade, have plenty to drink, put your hat on and sunscreen, and even all those viewers at home watching around the world, maybe now's the time, depending where you are, for a bit of a cup of tea, maybe a bit of breakfast, a bit of dinner. So make sure you keep well hydrated today and stay out of the sun. Okay, we're, as Simon mentioned before, coaches and officials and volunteers are very important for these events, and we're lucky to be joined here by one of Western Australia's up-and-coming, very strong coaches there from the Sorrento Surf Lifesaving Club in Andrew Ridley. So, Andrew, you've got a number of competitors racing today?
Yeah, true. quite a few from both Sereno and who played in the so it's a pretty exciting one down there.
And is there anything that you do different today than for a normal carnival? I mentioned before some of these competitors that go around 5 to 10 times for a carnival, but today it might just be a one-race hit-off.
Like today, give us a chance to get out and give a strong crack at the events they like to do. You need racing a lot of events. If you're a swimmer, you respect that. If you're a good crack, there's a lot of race. So it's important.
And you weren't tempted to pull the goggles and bathers on and have a go for Sorrento? All right, thank you very much, Andrew, but I'm sure we'll see you at the Aussie Masters later on in April next year. Thank you very much, and well done to your competitors. Really one of the up-and-coming clubs there with Sorrento and Mullaloo. So lots of hard work there. The results have been really paying off over the last few years.
Thanks, Drew. Folks, if you are listening to us at home, mybeach.com.au, live streaming and Facebook Live from North Cottesloe Beach today. This is round one of the WA Surf League. Hope you're enjoying all the action. We're about to head down to the Beach Sprint Arena. We have got the start list here. Bobby Welsh, Order of Australia medalist, has handed over the start list to us. So some good names in here. Will Shaw, Jackson Simons, Tommy Nolan in there as well, the gun. So moving down into the starting position, the boys. Braden Frankel, Charlie B in there too. Tommy Nolan in 7, lane 7 today. Aidan Murray, Matthew Lloyd, William in there as well. So this is our field for the beach sprint to get underway. Nice little crowd they're building up down here. Grant True and Simon Bowman on the microphone. So we one water arena today, and then we have our beach sprint arena. So this field of 8 runners moving down now from the different.
Thanks, Simon. And as those...
Sorry, True. The field, of course, Tommy Nolan, multiple West Australian champion, beach flags, beach sprint as well.
Yeah, as the boats are just making themselves organised for the B final, very interesting when you look down the start list for the open male beach sprint today. I think in the first heat we've got Tommy Nolan, as mentioned, a legend of not just Western Australia but life-saving around Australia, numerous Australian medals, gold medals, and I think in his first race he's also got the 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th place winners from last year's state championships in the under-17. So some of these younger runners, they're going to be looking to try and take his mantle in the next few years, and this might be their first chance. So Tommy Nolan with the young fellas chasing him down, and it's going to be very interesting to see which of those young up-and-coming beach sprinters can push through strong for the final positions.
We do have a little bit of a microphone connection down at the beach sprint. All the officials in place. Beach sprints down in the beach sprint arena about to get underway. Lane 1, Will Shaw. Lane 2, Jackson Simons. Lane 3, William Hosey. Matthew Lloyd in 4. Aidan Murphy in 5. Charlie Rigby in 6. The flying Tommy Nolan from North Cottesloe in 7. And Braden Frentel in 8. So not far away from a start here. Making their preparations down here at the start. So we move on to the beach sprint arena. All the action. The beach sprint format down here on North Cottesloe Beach. This is a long sprint today, folks. This is right over the long sprint. So get down here to the finish line for all of the action.
Thanks, Simon. And just as the runners are getting themselves set, we've had a false start in the B final for the Open Women's Surfboat today. So crews just realigning themselves. Not sure what happened down there, but obviously a lot of nerves, a lot of tension on the line as these female boat rowers really put in the big efforts for their club's teams. It's all about points today. Where does your club finish on the overall leaderboard? So beach sprinters look like they're getting organised down there.
Beach sprint about to get underway. Male beach sprint. This is the straight final, folks. This is a long sprint, True. It's about a kilometre and a hour away. The beach sprinters now on the move.
Thanks, Simon. I think we've just lost you there, but yeah, as you mentioned, really long race today. A lot of these runners will be going around again in the beach flag. So first 3 or 4 through today, I'd say, and then into the final. So we're off in a start in the B final for the women, and Mullaloo look like they've been off to a really good start and strong early in the middle. So they're closely followed by Sorrento, Fremantle to the far north of the course, and City of Perth to the south. So 4 boats here in the in the B final, and again, where these crews finish all counts for points today.
Well, Charlie Rigby has taken out the beach sprint. Charlie Rigby from Sorrento Surf Club has taken out the beach sprint down here, Truey. Tommy Nolan in third, just waiting on confirmation. You just see the guys picking up their numbers now of where they finished. Charlie Rigby takes out the beach sprint in round 1 of the WA Surf League down here. The women now not far away from the final of the women's beach sprint. Long sprint, Truey, today, really long spread out, long distance, close to 100 metres, I reckon, today, for the into position now for their start.
Yeah, thanks, Simon. So ones to watch in this race, Tegan from home club North Cottesloe won the state titles last year. She had got a good second place at the first round of carnivals already this year. Tully Jackson, second in the under-19 states last year from Fremantle. She'll also be one to watch. And then bronze place winner from last year's states, Jacqueline Lord, in this first heat. So very strong field, and I'd be looking to Tegan, the North Cottesloe competitor from their A team.
All in readiness down here for the start of the female beach sprint, Truey, as you said. All the different clubs. So just about to get underway, just in starters' hands down there. Great to see Peter Bell down here today, the gunfoot. Enjoying the sights and sounds of North Cottesloe. False start down here in the women's beach sprint, so they go back to the line right now. If you are watching and listening to us at home on mybeach.com.au, we're Facebook Live today as well, so the camera can see from the sprint arena of the women's sprint final. This is a women's sprint final, so we go Lord, Tegan from the home club here, the Slattery and Masters. Back to the line now, all in readiness for a start down here at the sprint.
Thank you, Simon. And the B final in the boats just coming to the concluding stages. So Mullaloo and Sorrento had the best of the starts, but it looks like the strength of Fremantle and City of Perth has really paid off here. So those two outside teams have turned the tables on the middle teams, and with Fremantle, Sorrento's coming home very strong there, but I think it's going to come down to the Fremantle or City of Perth crew. So very good finish there for the B final, and the A final is mere seconds away.
Yeah, so sucking in the big ones near after the women's sprint. You picked it, Truey. Tegan gets herself home. We saw her running powerfully on the sand during the Taplin. Tegan Mafascioni takes out the sprint today. Big smiles from all the girls down there at the finish line. Good camaraderie between the sprinters. It's a long sprint for the girls today, but the hometown beach takes it out. Tegan Mafascioni gets home. The Charlie Rigby from Sorrento takes out the men's race. Tegan Mafascioni from North Cottesloe is home. We see the traditional handing over of the places from our officials. All smiles down here at the finish line of the women's sprint. Tegan Mafascioni gets a big cheer from her fellow competitors and from the nice little crowd down here at the final of the beach sprint. So well done, Tegan.
Okay, thank you, Simon. So as I mentioned to viewers at home, we've got the first of the surf boat finals ready to roll. So 8:30 here in the morning, on Sunday, and see the easterly is just picked up a little bit again, I think, so that is going to make it tough rowing these ladies as they turn the can. So as predicted, the two big surf boat clubs over in the west at the moment, North Cottesloe and City of Perth, well represented, two crews in each, two teams in each of these A finals, and they're going to be joined by, I think, down to maybe Sorrento, or so Trig Island. So we're going to be going down to the A final for the women very shortly, as we see the open female ski competitor taking to the line. So Simon, we're down just competitors in the starters' hands for the open female ski race. Just calling some of the hot favourites here today. Kira from City of Perth, second last week in the carnival, in really good form. Trig Island A and Simone Wilson, very close third place finish last week. And then Amanda Bowman also in good form for Sorrento. But as I mentioned, I think Amanda Lee's out there today from Mullaloo Gold, one of our more mature competitors. And she's off to a very good start right in the middle. So lots of nous when you watch Amanda paddle. Lots of experience, and her skills are second to none. And she's won numerous state titles in both relays, doubles and single skis. So looking out there, it's probably Simone Wilson from Trig Island off to the best start. And then we turn our attention back to the, looks like Sorrento and the other Trig competitors. So tough paddling today again for these competitors, and first at the ski finals in the water.
Yeah, thanks, Drew. Down here on the beach with the winner of the beach sprint, just finally catching a breath. Tegan Mafascioni is down here after winning. You've got that out of the way. Good run, hey?
Yeah, it was really good. It was awesome being able to run on the home beat and down here every day, so to be able to do a beach sprint.
You're catching up with your breath still. That's all right. It was a long sprint, wasn't it, by sprinters' standard? That was a long course today.
Yeah, that was definitely a full 90 metres today, for sure.
Now, Tegan, you made a comment. Well, I've got that one out of the way now, so that was it. That was still important for you to take this out in round one, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's always good just to get a win at the start of the season, and sets you up for the rest of the carnivals now.
And here on home turf as well, home Sam. Well done, Tegan.
Thank you very much.
Well done, Tegan. Mafascioni winning the women's sprint, and I promise round two I'll get that pronunciation right, Tegan. Back to you, Truy.
Thank you, Simon. So these ladies in the open ski race, looks like it's Simone from Trig Island well out in front, but just have a look at the pack of paddlers, 2 through to 16. So they paddled in a real strong pack all the way out, and what you'll see happen now is just as they turn this last count, they'll fan out. They'll actually fan out to start trying to find their own clean water as they try and chase down Simone from Trig Island. But really strong paddle there, and competitors doing really well into this strong east. So really, really tough, not a lot of oxygen, and at this stage their forearms will be absolutely exploding. So we're going to pick these paddlers up as they get closer to the finish, but just have a look at that pack. Still, it's Simone out in front doing really well, but second through to probably 8th there is a blanket finish at this stage.
Yeah, a bit of excitement down here, folks. The final of the women's ski final just up for grabs. Strong out in front with Trig, but we've got a race for second right on there, Truy. This will be exciting.
Yeah, look, a really good paddle there by Simone. She led it from the start right through to the finish, and very close in second and third there. We'll have to leave that one for the judges, but just have a look at this field, an entire ski field probably within about 30 metres. So really, really tough paddling, and great to see the crowd getting behind these ladies.
Well, you picked it right at the start, Truy. You said that today, as we went live on Facebook at mybeach.com.au, you did say this was going to be an absolute drag fest today. No surf, no swell, just flat out right from the start, and that's what we saw just then.
Yeah, absolutely, and we're going to see that again in the open men's ski as they just make themselves. So we saw that that last female race, probably could call it one of the more open races today. But this next race, the male ski, I think this is going to be a chase. This is going to be Reece Baker trying to hold off the two Olympic paddlers from North Cott in Steve Bird and Jesse Phillips. So just watch this. Josh Maurice has also been paddling really well. We saw him in the Taplin bring their field back together. But no one in Western Australia can ever not love Reece Baker, one of the strongest paddlers in Australia at the moment. And this is going to be an absolute belter of a race. So just keep an eye out for Trig Island and the 2 North Cott Olympians.
Yeah, great field, as Grant True said. Simon Beaumont with you as well down here on the start line for the men's ski. You're always an Olympian, folks. You're never an ex-Olympian, and call on that experience. We saw the boys in the Taplin earlier today. The 2 Olympians get a fantastic start today. So, and big Reece Baker in there as well, as Truey said, in the green, white and red cap of Trig Island. A strong paddler for many, many years, Reece. He's got company today in the 2 Olympians.
Thank you, Simon. And I'm joined down here at the finish area for the open female ski. We've got the winner for round 1 today, Simone Wilson, representing Trig Island A. Simone, fantastic paddle. Your start was great. You led them with a clean set of heels. How was that racing out there?
Yeah, it's good. I like the flat conditions, so it suited me pretty well.
Very good. The girls were chasing you down. I think they were trying to get on your wash just to try and keep up with you, but fantastic speed, especially around the back end of the course.
Yeah, thanks. I knew I wanted to hit the first marker towards the front, so I started really far on the right to get a good start. Then I did.
Very good. So congratulations, Simone Wilson, open female race winner today.
Yeah, well done, True. Nice work. So, very shortly to go to starters hands down. This is one of the blue ribbon events, isn't it, True? It always is at any surf carnival, the final of the men's ski. Always exciting as we see the Surf Lifesaving WA chopper just coming in overhead, keeping an eye on proceedings down here today. Beautiful conditions at North Cott. The women's race was a flat-out sprint from go to woe. Not far away from seeing the boys get underway. Olympians in the field, Reece Baker. They go down now. True, I'll get you to call the start, mate, but this is very exciting, one of the big events of today's program.
Yeah, thanks, Simon. So I think the action's going to come down to probably the middle to the right end of this field. So we can see Stephen Bird right in the middle there, Reece Baker down off to the right, third in from the right, and then down to Jesse Phillips off to the fourth in from the left. So have a look at those, the white caps, and then we're looking for the red, green and white caps. So if you want to see fantastic starting skills, just watch Reece Baker here, third in from the right. He's going to be off to an extremely quick start, and one of the stronger paddlers that you'll see going around.
All right, so the wave makes some noise, folks. The blue ribbon event away they go. The starter waiting for all conditions to be equal, and you picked it, Truey. Reece Baker's away.
Yeah, fantastic start. Already half a length out there, but just watch the tactics here. Steve Bird, Josh Maurice coming right onto his wash, and then Jesse Phillips coming in hard to the right just to try and get on that wash there of Reece. But amazing start there, straight on the ski. First 5 strokes, and he's already got a half ski length there. So Trig Island, one of the strongest ski paddling clubs in Australia at the moment. Numerous mixed doubles titles, ski relays, singles skis over the last 4 or 5 years. So it's pretty tough to knock these Trig boys off, but we've got Josh, Maurice, and then the 2 Olympians from North Cott trying to do that today. But at that first can, as we predicted, Reece Baker off to an early lead.
Nothing more exciting than the start of the men's ski, Truey. Every surf carnival I go to, the power these boys generate off the beach is amazing. They go around now, some congestion, a lot of skill, a lot of technical skill, and a lot of horsepower out there. But Reece Baker's still out in front, as you say, with Maurice, the 2 Olympians. What can they do in the back into that little headwind, Truey, the northeasterly as they come back around? What can you see, mate?
Yeah, so look, the technique of Steve and Jesse obviously is going to pay off to their advantage as we get to the middle of this last leg in the ski. But you just can't go past the strength of Reece. He's a giant of a man, and we've seen him anchor his team at the Aussies to a number of gold medals in the ski relay and mixed doubles. So he's an absolute powerhouse. But just have a look now. I think that's Jesse Phillips coming right out on the far left there, or on our far right, just trying to push up there onto his fellow Australian representative.
Race on, Truey. Race on for first. They've streeted. They've cleared away from the rest of the field. Make some noise, Northcott. Here they come. Look at the boys go. The 3 boys Head, Reese Baker just shaded ever so slightly. I'll go back to you, Truey. This is going to come down to the wire, into the headwind. Here we go.
Yeah, have a look at this. Jesse Phillips has just put on a massive burst of power. So that might be Steve Bird, a massive burst of power. Now have a look at Reese coming back, chasing a very, very small run here. Stephen Bird with probably a ski length there with an amazing burst of power. And Steve Bird, fantastic win there. Looks like it will then go to Reese and then Jesse Phillips. So unbelievable racing there. Steve Bird back with his win from the first carnival this year.
Well, that was amazing. What about that, folks? That sets us up for the series, doesn't it? Beautifully. Big, strong pack. Give the boys a big cheer as they come through. Exciting racing down here at North Cottesloe. What a race between those two. I'll get you to do the interviews, Truey, down there. Not far away. Fantastic stuff. Reese Baker, only way he knows how, just go hard off the front. But the Olympians, just as you say, just that massive burst, just a little bit of change of pace, a few kilowatts to bring them into the beach. Great race.
Yeah, that was quite amazing, actually. We saw probably only 30 metres off the shore. Reese had probably about a 1 metre gap, just a nose of a ski. And then we just saw Steve just absolutely drop the pedal, and within about 5 or 6 strokes he'd gone to be half a ski length ahead. So amazing strength. Steve and Jesse are known 200 and 500 metre paddlers at the world level, so that short burst of power definitely paying off there for the North Cott boys.
Yeah, a bit of breeze out there now, True. You can see the flags down here at North Cottesloe. If you're not down here, folks, if you're watching us at home on mybeach.com.au or on Facebook Live, the easterly breeze starting to pick up. Nice conditions in the water, but a bit of a headwind for our paddlers and board paddlers as they come back from the top of each of the courses. We'll be back with Truey in just a moment for interviews down there. This is our main water arena today. We've seen the men's and women's sprints run and won. Charlie Rigby from Sorrento took out the men's sprint. Tegan Mafascioni taking out the women's sprint at North Cottesloe, from North Cottesloe here on North Cottesloe Beach. So she's pretty stoked. True, I'll come back to you when you're ready, mate, with as we see another boat event taking place down there.
Yeah, thanks, Simon. So this is the A final for the women's boats today. So as I mentioned, North Cott so strong across all parts of boat rowing in Western Australia. They've got 3 crews in this final. There's 2 from City of Perth, and then Swanee have pulled a spot in there in the top 6. So big points on here today. The 2 City of Perth crews taking out first and second at the last state championships, but I know they were pushed last week by North Cott at the Coogee Carnival. So this is really, really tough rowing. You just see the girls just drop the rating a little bit as they're trying to save some energy and make the most of this wind on the way out. So ski paddlers just getting their final allocation of positions here and recording of names, and then Simon will probably grab Stephen for an interview. But I'd love to know what was going through his mind in that big burst of 10 strokes that end up winning him that race. But open female boat race in the water, coming up to the turns, and it's North Cott on the far side, just coming into that turn very, very nicely. So that's actually quite a big lead. So they're already on their way back in, and then we see a blanket across the other 5. So just as these noses turn into the wind, that's when these ladies know they're rowing surf boats. It's tough, there's no air, and they've got just a massive wall of wind just to push into. So as I said, forearms will be screaming right now. Their sweeps out there will be yelling, will be encouraging them, keep the strokes long, focus on the catches and clean hands out of the water. And they've probably got about a minute before they make their way to the finish.
A nice little photograph down here on the beach with Jesse Burt and the boys down there taking a photo. We'll get them in just a moment. North Cottesloe, famous for its boat crews, aren't they, Truey? The famous J crew, 5-time Australian champions, and the girls very strong as well. Very strong on the water, very strong off the water as well, the North Cottesloe boat crew girls. You'll always see them at a party around the place, but they head in now. True, I'll get you to call the final stages of our women's final in the boat race.
Yeah, thank you very much, Simon. You're right, that North Cott J crew, one of the most famous surf boat crews ever in Australia. And we just looked down to the North Cott ladies on the far end. Looks like one of the City of Perth crews have come back a little bit on that in that yellow boat. They've won gold medals themselves at a state level, and really, really tough rowing. Just look at the trim on these both. North Cott on the far side, just picking up the rating now. Their sweep's really going to be calling them home. So that rating's probably come up 4 or 5 strokes. City of Perth now picking their rating. Nice long stroke. Just the tiniest little runs there that's going to pay in their advantage. But today looks like it's unbelievable rowing there by the North Cott ladies, both in first, third and fourth. So super strength there from the home club today.
Yeah, well called at North Cott, having a good day down here at race 1, round 1 of the WA Surf League. Tegan Mapashoni taking out the women's sprint, and they're home. And the flag goes up down there. The winning flag goes up for North Cott down there. They're pretty happy, and they'll be working hard. Troy, might get you to come back over here where we can get you on camera if that's okay. We are going live today to all the people listening to us on the beach. The reason we are talking non-stop is we are going live today, and this is a broadcast from North Cottesloe Beach. Grant True will shortly interview the winner of the men's ski race. Exciting ski race, one of the blue ribbon events down here today, and a fantastic race. Reese Baker going out hard. Was it a plan? Grant True down on the beach now.
Thank you, Simon. So, well, the viewers at home, have a look at this man mountain on my left here. Stephen Bird, Olympian, 2-time Olympian, and he took out the ski race at the carnival a few weeks ago, and he's come back today with a massive paddle. So, Steve, tell us about the conditions.
The conditions are very flat, which suits me quite well, considering I'm a sprint kayaker. So, yeah, it was a long slog back into the easterly this morning. So I decided to rest a bit on the wash, thanks to Reese Baker for doing all the work on the way out. But yeah, I've probably got 10 good strokes in me, and I have to put it down at the right time, and today it worked out for me.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. Look, we saw that, and the viewers at home would have seen that. Reese had about a ski length lead on you, and we saw maybe about 30 metres off the shore, just this massive 10 strokes, and you went from being a ski length behind to getting your nose in front. It was actually phenomenal to watch, and I hope the viewers at home watch. So is this a tactic we're going to see for the rest of the series?
Well, it's really just a hit and hope, really. I don't know what happens after the 10 strokes. I could completely die, but you just got to go for it. And yeah, it's my strength, so I've got to use my strength well. So yeah, rest and then attack pretty much at the right time. Sometimes I don't get it right, but today was good.
Very good. Well, I like the rest bit. That's the easy bit, but amazing race today. Well done, and we look forward to seeing you in the second and third round later on in the year. Thank you.
Yeah, nice work, Grant True down on the beach with our winner. And you're always an Olympian, folks, and it was a spectacular race, the men's ski final today. Reese Baker doing all the hard work out in front. It is a strong easterly out on the water if you are at home. The temperature going up here in Perth today, heading to a max of 37, 36 yesterday. Beautiful conditions down here. We do have TJ Hendy, Trevor Hendy Jr. in the house today. He'll be swimming later on, and one to watch. He won the first event of the Australian title in the Australian Surf League, the Kellogg Surf League, earlier this year. So TJ Hendy in the house as well. We say a very good morning as well to Phil Clayton. The legendary Phil Clayton's down here coaching the kids today, doing a great job. He helped us launch the WA Surf Summer on Friday night at the Cottesloe Surf Club. Phil Clayton over here this weekend coaching. Brilliant guy. Multiple Australian title holder, world title holder, Phil Clayton, one of the superstars of the sport of surf lifesaving, and he's here today putting back in and coaching the kids. Just gone 9 o'clock down here on the beach, Tree. Well, this is the first round, the round 1 of the WA Surf League. I hope you're enjoying it wherever you're watching it. To all the people on the beach, hope you're enjoying today's racing.
Yeah, thanks, Simon. And look, we've been moving through the program pretty well this morning. Coming up soon, we're going to have the open male and open female board races. So a couple of very interesting fields that we've got for you today. So in the female board, interestingly, no one in the top 5 from last year's state championships are racing today. So this is a good chance for a paddler to get their name on the radar. And again, I think we're going to be seeing the likes of Jade Mickle, Kira Albertson also did very well, 3rd at the last carnival. But there's two paddlers in here today, Sienna and Nikita. Sienna's from Sorrento, Nikita from Trigg Island. at last year's state championships, they got second and third in the under 14 board. So two of the youngest competitors, I know they're going to wanting to be putting their stamp on today's races and taking on the likes of some of the more senior competitors. So Shani Fergus from Trigg Island won the under 17 states at last year's state championships, and I've already mentioned Kira Albertson second in the under 19 state championships. So super strong field here today with some very young competitors from Sorrento and Trigg Island hoping to make their mark. We can see surfboat crews in the open male. This looks like the B final here today. We're looking down to City of Perth, Trigg Island, City of Perth, Trigg Island again, and then Mullaloo and Sorrento. So very, very strong crews here. Looks like it's the City Black crew just out in the middle, probably with the best of the starts. That crew, actually quite amazing. They actually compete in the 160 plus age group at the Masters Carnival. So every single one of them is well over 40, and they're lucky they've got a couple of Aussie medals in the Lifesaver Relay just within that crew. So very strong start there. They're one of the best performing reserve crews, and that can mean only one thing, that North Cott has got an absolute stranglehold on the A final coming up soon. We're going to see the three top North Cott crews going head to head very soon, and looking forward to that race as well as the open female board race.
Thanks, Drew. We just heard the final call down here on the beach for the Women's Beach Flag, so we'll get that underway shortly. Hope you're enjoying round one of the WA Surf League. I'm here with the President of Surf Lifesaving WA, Craig Smith-Gander, from the mighty Cottesloe Surf Club. How are you, Craig?
I'd be better if I was from North Cottesloe, which is the beach we're at today, and that is my club, but I'm not down here representing North Cottesloe. This is a fantastic outcome. It's almost exactly what we were trying to achieve. Northcott's actually proving to be a really good atmosphere for it. It's a small beach, bit of an amphitheatre feel to it. I'm really stoked.
It's a running joke between Craig and I. I deliberately misintroduce him every time we talk. Hey, mate, we launched the summer on Friday night, didn't we, up at Cottesloe? Amazing story, Steve Plain, rescued down here on the beach. We were reminded not only about the athletic and the sport part of the event, as we just keep an eye on the boat crews over there, but surf lifesaving saves lives as well, right? Keeps the beach safe.
Yeah, that was a pretty amazing experience on Friday night down at Cottesloe for our launch of summer. To hear a really detailed graphic account of a rescue which went incredibly well just demonstrates what it is we're all about. You know, we're a century-old movement. When it is unique, it's really easy to use the word unique, but this thing is, it's a life-saving, it's sport, it's a junior movement, it's education, it's a whole bunch of different things put together, and none of it works without the other bit. So that's why we spend so much time making sure all the things we do in surf life-saving we get right.
Big summer of surf coming up. We'll just go back over to the boat arena with Truey, then we'll come back, Craig. Just stay with us. Truey, they're coming in now.
Yeah, thanks, Simon, and couldn't agree more with you, Craig. A number of lifesavers already got their patrol caps on this morning right throughout Western Australia. But just have a look at these guys out here. City of Perth 1, 2, 3 in this B final. They're chasing down points because, interestingly, that's going to mean that there's 6 points up for grabs in the final. So I mentioned Northcott. We're going to be very strong in the overall points today, and their finals in the boats is going to show that. So just that young crew from City of Perth doing really well. Bow rowers have to get out and run for the finish. So we've got a bit of a travelator here as well today, that last little bank, just to squeeze the last bit of energy out of those legs. So good racing in the B final, and this A final coming up is going to be an absolute cracker.
Just saw the D final there. Just a final word from El Presidente, proud North Cottesloe member. Hey, Goose, for all the people watching at home, we want to try and get them down for the next couple of rounds, right?
Oh, you bet we do. It's great watching it live streaming and watching on the web, but it's a whole lot much better watching it in person live at the venue. This is a cracking venue. The next two will be fabulous as well. Can't wait.
North Cottesloe having a good day today. Tegan takes out the sprint. We see the Olympians there in the men's ski. The blue and white looking all right today, aren't they?
Yeah, I think the white caps are going to go pretty well today. This format probably suits clubs which have a few really good competitors, and Northcott's a bit like that, but they're sort of growing in depth now. And you never know, Trig might have to start watching their back a bit, I think.
Thanks, Craig. Fantastic day down here. Craig Smith-Gander, the President of Surf Lifesaving WA. Have a great day, mate. See you during the course off.
Yeah, we will, Simon, and thanks very much for giving us a hand, and we'll see you on the radio next week.
Craig Smith-Gander, President of Surf Lifesaving WA. Truri has got an eye on things. We're not far away from the beach flags, Grant. We do have the beach flags about to get underway, the women's. We'll go to the beach flags when we get to the final four, and you'll get to see them then. So for all the people at My Beach, guys, listen. We have the women's board paddle final. So Truri, I'll throw to you. You've got this covered, I reckon.
Thank you, Simon. And just lining up for the open women's board, as I mentioned, the one to watch is probably Jade Mickle. She's right in the middle now. That's going to play into the hands of every other competitor here. You watch them try and get on her wash. There's no advantage. There's no need to stay on your own line early. They're going to be getting straight onto someone's wash. So really good start there. We see the yellow nose board there, and that looks like also Shani from the B team from Trig Island off to a very good start. So it's going to be absolutely flat out here. They're going to be trying to save a little bit of energy on the way out, like we saw Stephen do in the ski. And then probably we're going to see some movement around the back end of this course. So you watch them turn at this big yellow can out the back. That's when this race is really going to come into its own.
Yeah, it's interesting, wasn't it? Even someone of Steve Bird's quality, Grant, hearing him say that out there the easterly is an issue. So coming back into the headwind for these guys is an issue, like you'd see in any sport, I suppose, where there's a bit of wind resistance. So the back half of this course will be where the strength and the conditioning comes into play. Everyone goes flat out red lines for the first couple of minutes, but coming back into the wind, you've got to hold your form, hold your technique and training, and a will to win comes into play as well. So we see the girl, this is the women's final of the board paddling that you're watching at home on mybeach.com.au. We've got the women's beach flags about to get underway, but they approach the apex of the course now, and they'll be coming back into that reasonably strong easterly wind here at North Cottesloe.
Yeah, thanks, Simon. So it does look like it is Jade Mickle just holding the lead there back to Sorrento. So good first paddle there. And you see these girls just resting their legs around the back of that course. They've been up on their knees the whole way out there, and the hamstrings will be screaming, the back screaming. So they're just taking a little bit of a chance here just to catch their breath. So might actually be Shani Ferguson out there leading them through in the early stages. And then we look back to Ashley. Oh, sorry, that's Nikita there. I mentioned her before. She was second in the last year in the under 14s. She's now into the under 15s, and she's showing these open female competitors what board paddling's all about at the moment. So amazing racing. I dare say that's probably even Sienna or Ashley from Sorrento in second place. But as we saw in the ski, anything can happen, even right down to the last 30 minutes. But look at Nikita going at the moment, really strong there. Nice long strokes, and this is going to come down to a very, very close run up the beach.
Just starting to see a few little runs come through too, True, aren't we? As the morning progresses, there's this minuscule swell here at Northcote, but there is an opportunity for these paddlers and the ski paddlers to get a little run here and there. Closing stages of the final of the women's board, folks. Get yourself down here to the water's edge. You call it in, True. We've got a couple of guys sitting on the wash. City of Perth out in front. Here we go.
Yeah, thanks, Simon. It's actually Triggs out in front. Nikita, she's got Jade Mickle right on her tail there. But I think there's going to have to be a move made very, very soon. We just see Jade just coming out onto the left. I think that's Ashley just moving out onto the left of Nikita there. So have a look at this finish. Big crowd down here. Come on, crowd. Get behind these paddlers. The young paddler from Trig Island there, Nikita. Let's just watch this finish here. So lots of skills in getting off these boards. Nice and clean, nice and quick, and getting those legs moved. But amazing paddle there. First open female board for the Surf League in 2017-18. So amazing paddle, great work from the young paddler from Trig Island.
And the Trig Island guys have gone absolutely berserk up here on the sand. Very popular winner there, Grant. So Trig Island home first, and the Trig guys are, I know we're seeing high fives and cuddles all around from the Trig Island guys. They're an emotional bunch, the Trig people, and they really enjoyed that win. Well done. Good calling, Trui. City of Perth up in the top 5 there, but Trig Island take it out.
Yeah, thanks, Simon. And we're going to grab Nikita in a minute and have a bit of a chat with her because, crowd favourite here, big supporter base, so fantastic racing. But just turn your attention to the far north of today's arenas, and we've got the open men. So as I said, Fremantle in there. I think we've got Mullaloo in there, and then Northcott well represented. So super strong crews here, and this is going to be. These are the big boys, the strongest, fittest male boat rowers in Western Australia at the moment, and they're going to be absolutely powering out. So same conditions here today. They might try and save a little bit on the way out, but when they turn that can, it's going to be absolute lung-busting leg power. Okay, Simon's going to be joining Nikita there, open female board, but men's off to a false start today. So second false start in the boats today. Obviously everyone's a little bit, Toby, a little bit nervous, and they know there's big points on there today. So looking forward to these crews getting themselves set, and we might hear from Nikita very soon. Okay, we're just waiting for Nikita and Simon to get set, so we're going to look now to the start list for the open male board race. So probably the one to watch here. We saw him in the newspaper, a bit of a superstar in surf lifesaving at the moment. Wesley Gould from Mullaloo, first at the state champs last year in the open and the under-19. So he did the double in the board. He won this board race at the last carnival, but he's going to be pushed today by Trigg Island. Kelton, I think, is in there. And Riley, who was third, Riley Walker, third in the first carnival of the year. So again, we're going to see some great racing, and I'm sure they would have been watching how Nikita handled that race, got out in front and stayed out in front.
Yeah, thanks, Drew. I'm with Nikita Fradinay now here from Trigg Island Surf Club. She's only 14. She's beaten a star-studded field in the women's board paddle final. How are you feeling, Nikita?
Oh, I'm dead. Yeah.
Great, the biggest cheer we heard on the beach today. The men's ski was very exciting. The biggest cheer we've heard on the beach was from your mates at Trigg Island Surf Club. They seem to get right behind you, hey?
Yeah, they do. They really, yeah.
Nikita, we need to go back over that race. There's a bit of wind coming in, wasn't there? So that everyone's talking about when you turn around the can and come in, there's a bit of an easterly blowing. You've got to be strong, technique, and you've got to want to win, don't you?
Yeah, you do.
Is that the plan, to try and just go off the front?
Well, I saw that I had Jane Rickle next to me, so I was like, try keep up with her, and then if I can get in front, just try get in front, I guess.
Who's your coach at Trigg? You're only 14, so still junior. Who's your coach over there?
Matt. Yeah, Matt Bowbridge.
Matt Bowbridge, well done. Hey, well done today. Is that it for you?
Yeah, I'm done.
You're done. Well done. You can celebrate. The Trigg guys, they all love you. Well done. You can go back to the club this afternoon. Someone might buy a sausage sizzle or something.
Thank you.
Nikita Fradinay. Well done, Nikita. Congratulations. Nikita Fradinay, who took out the women's final of the board race. True, back to you. The big A-grade boat race underway.
Thanks, Simon. Yeah, as you mentioned, these are the big boys. So we just saw on that start there, interestingly, Northcott and Fremantle on the south of this field had a very good start, and probably about 10 strokes off, Fremantle were in the lead. So Fremantle, a number of years ago, had a number of very good crews. Had a few years off, but they've come back with a vengeance, and I'd say they're going to challenge for the lead at the halfway point. So we see them turning now on that black can, Northcott turning on that red can, taking a little bit of a wider line, probably just getting their nose around first, but closely followed there by Northcott, Fremantle. So top four, absolute blanket over this at the moment. The Northcott A crew there, very, very strong. They're all big boys. They train hard down here at Northcott, and they've got a really good team feel, as you do need to be a strong boat club. But just turning, you see the wind just pushing up that bow, a little bit of chop coming off those blades as they make their way in. But probably about a third of the way in, and at the moment they're going to be absolutely hurting. But they know there's points on the line, and they want to do the best for their club.
Yeah, the famous blue and white of the North Cottesloe boat crew, as True was saying before, 5-time Australian champions under the J Crew format. Such a dominant team and such a proud club when it comes to boat crews. But right, game on here, Truey. Race
Yep.
on.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's probably Fremantle just dropped off a bit, but I actually don't know if they've dropped off or this North Cott crew has just put the pedal down a little bit more. So they're probably about a boat length lead at this stage, being challenged by, again, the other second North Cott crew. But just have a look at the orange nose on that crew, the big black sign on the front, and look at this rating. These crews, all in time. These rowers, massive, big, strong bodies, big catches, and then massive drive from the legs. So this is the real hard bit. They're going to be getting a little bit of a backwash, just pushing them, just hurting them a little bit more. And as I mentioned, the bow rower still has a little bit of work to do. He's got to get out, run up this bit of an incline, bit of a hill, bit like Travelator from the old game show days, and then run up and raise that flag. But North Cott, I'd say probably 1, 2, 3 here. And what's that going to do to the points table, what we're going to be seeing later on today? So great rowing, great show of strength from the men here from Cottesloe.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, as you say. Well called, Grant. True down at the boat arena there, and the flags go up. I reckon there's a fair bit of pride between the crews there, wasn't there, True? As between the three crews, a big sprint up the line. I reckon the crew closest to it here may have ended up third, despite hitting the beach in second. So nice little sprint up the little hill there, and the A-grade boat crew is done. If you're watching us at home on mybeach.com.au or on Facebook Live, we're at beautiful North Cottesloe Beach today for the round 1 of the WA Surf League. The women's beach flag's about to get underway. The men's final, well, one of the board paddle finals about to get underway, True. So Grant True, who's our expert commentator from Surf Lifesaving WA, will join us. And we have the starters down here about to get the boys underway.
Yeah, thanks, Simon. So as I mentioned, Wes Gould is the one to watch in this. He did very well at the Australian Championships last year. Also 2 years ago when he was able to get into the water. A lot of these competitors travelled all the way over east, didn't get a chance to even get wet. But off to a very, very quick start. And Wes Gould looks like he's right in the middle there. And then we turn our attention down to, might be the young competitor from City of Perth, Ethan Jackson there. But Wesley there off to a very good start. And just have a look at the bunch. These guys have just jumped straight on each other's wash, trying to save some energy for their, not just on the way out, but they're going to be saving their energy. We saw with the ladies, they dropped down onto their stomach, and they're going to be pushing hard into the wind on the way back.
So everyone down here at the beach in North Cottesloe today, hope you're having a good day. Grant True and Simon Beaumont on the microphones with you today. We are broadcasting live, and that's pretty much why we are broadcasting non-stop today to friends and family and loved ones at home. This is the final of the men's board race in progress now. The boys will turn around. You've heard many of our competitors say there's a fair bit of breeze out there coming back into the easterly wind. So here in our main water arena, you can see the kids races, the junior races taking place south of here. Phil Clayton's here today helping the kids with some coaching and some inspirational messages. The legendary Phil Clayton from Queensland, one of the guns of Surf Lifesaving. They're around the top of the field, Grant True.
Thank you, Simon. And your Wesley Gould has predicted out to a bit of an early lead, but that looks like might be Kelton from Trigg Island there. Might be in second position, and then back to Riley. So very strong 1, 2, 3. But Wesley Gould, just look at them fanning out again as we saw. They're getting a little bit of assistance, a little bit of shadow from that wind. But we're going to see them probably when they get to around this green and yellow can, they're going to try and make their own line. But Wes Gould from Mullaloo, he's definitely in front there at the moment.
To see the drone sitting over the field out there, True, can't you? Getting all our pictures for our Facebook Live page today and for mybeach.com.au. But we go into the closing stages. Strength, technique and will to win. That's what you need to see coming back from the cam when this breeze is blowing. Over to you, Truey.
Yeah, thanks very much, Simon. And actually looks like this is a race in two. So Tom Gallagher's taken a bit of a southerly course. And then Wes Gould has gone to the north a bit. And these competitors that have come in both Riley and Tom, they seem to have picked the best line because they've gone straight past these other two competitors. So very interesting tactics. You think it's flat, but there's always tactics when you're out in the ocean. So super fast finish here. Tom Gallagher there getting up to his feet first. Riley Walker just pushing up. But we're going to be seeing Tom Gallagher, Riley Walker and Wes Gould there, 1, 2, 3. So very interesting race. We thought it was all over with the big boy Wes Gould out there. But a couple of the younger crew just picked a bit of a different line and came home very strongly.
Yeah, great call for Grant True down there. He spotted that, and the City Beach guys, the City of Perth guys go 1-2 there in a strong performance. So I'll tell you what, True, we're still. It was the big cheer from Nikita has got the crowd award so far today, isn't it, from Trig Island? She's very popular. See the 14-year-old beat the big hitters. And,
yeah, you're right, Simon, and it is good to see the crowd down here, and obviously people watching at home. We say hello to you again, and whether you're watching on your phone or your laptop or iPad or TV, it is great that this event is going all around Australia and the world for all the fans to have a look. But as they would have seen, Nikita, fantastic crowd support here. Definitely put her stamp on board paddling in Western Australia this year. I'm really excited about seeing the next carnival later on in the year. I think it's in January, around 2. And we're just getting the boys from the boards. We might have a quick chat to them.
Sure, just make sure we've got a cameraman here, so we'll try and get those interviews on camera to all the folks at home. The beach flags are underway, Grant True. We will go over to the beach flags when we get down to our final 4. You see Tommy Nolan, the multiple state and national title holder. This is his go today. Picked up 3rd in the beach sprint, in the long 90-metre beach sprint. But Tommy Nolan, technical maestro of beach flags, as we see another one of the female elimination rounds about to take place. And we'll bring you all the action from the beach flags in just a moment down here at North Cottesloe.
Okay, thank you, Simon. Tom Gallagher, the winner of the board, he's making his way down to see you. He's looking forward to getting on camera. Another competitor with a big fan base. So he'll be joining us very, very soon as we look at these board paddlers. One thing I can say is they all look really tired. So the conditions are super tough, and while they love competing, I know that their lungs and arms will be really hurting in the last parts of any of these water events today. So we'll be hearing from Tom Gallagher very soon when he joins Simon Beaumont.
Thanks, True. We see the women assembling down here for the final of the swim. So the women are heading down here. So Maddie Thompson, who swam so well, didn't she, during the Taplin? So Maddie Thompson, big, strong athlete from Trig Island. Jade Mickle in this field as well. So True, might get you over to call the start of the women's swim if that's okay.
Yeah, thanks, Simon. Again, it's going to be very hard to go past those two competitors that you mentioned. Madeline, fantastic swim in the Taplin earlier on. Jade Mickle, she got 4th at the state championships last year, and Madeline knocked her off by 1 spot. So last year's form, you'd have to give it to Madeline, but at last week's carnival, or the first carnival of the year, Jade Mickle had a fantastic swim for 1st place. So another younger competitor to watch here is Dana Tyndall. We've mentioned the youth of some of these competitors. She was 2nd at last year's under-14 state championships. So keep an eye out for her. We've already seen the young female competitors do well on the board. Can it be a double for the swim?
Well, they're away. There goes the call. Go Scotty's the call from the beach. Go Maddie's the call. Maddie's such a strong swimmer in the middle there from Trig. She's 4 from the southern end. Look at that stroke rating, Truey. She is absolutely motoring. She gets herself into the lead there. Jade Mickle sitting in there as well, just on her left-hand side. You see Jade Mickle getting her head up. She's trying to get onto Maddie Thompson's feet. All the swimmers, in fact, the entire field is trying to get onto Maddie Thompson's feet as they head out. Well, just, Truey, I'll get you to call that in just a second. Actually, keep going on that, mate. I'll come back to Tom Gallagher in just a moment.
Yeah, thanks, Simon. And just watch these swimmers. So a lot of these competitors will do all their training in a pool. But I know that all the good coaches get them doing surf skills as well. So they'll practice swimming with their head up. They'll practice duck diving. They'll practice holding their breath and going under waves in the pool. So we just watch Madeline and Jade, particularly more Jade, probably a bit stronger in the big surf. She's doing 3 or 4 strokes, just lifting her head up to sight that first can. But those two girls, neck and neck at the moment, are going out to this first green and yellow can. And this is going to be a very interesting race. So, Simon, back to you, and we'll pick them up right at the end.
Yeah, we got Tom Gallagher here. We managed to find our cameraman, so he's won the board, the final of the board today. How was that, mate?
Yeah, it was pretty hard, but yeah, no, good.
Drury called it from the beach that you guys took a slightly different line coming in. Was that a tactic, or it's just flat out there and make it up as you go along?
Yeah, well, Ben had to like break away and go sideways and just get away from everyone to try and paddle my own race. So yeah, that's what I did.
Mate, star-studded field, and you've taken out the title, so you got some points for the City of Perth club. That's a good thing today in a team format, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's good. Like in the other team, like there's 3 teams, so yeah, it's pretty good.
All right, mate, you've got the swim and the Ironman to come. How you feeling? You recovering?
Yeah, good. Yeah.
Mate, well done, City of Perth. Well done. Thank you, Tom. Tom Gallagher wins the board today. Drury, the gun swimmers are around the top of the mark.
Yeah, thanks, Simon. As mentioned, Madeline and Jade, first and second at the moment. And just have a look there. So we've got Madeline on she's on the right as we're looking at her. Nice, strong stroke there. Doesn't lift her head as much. Jade Mickle, big, strong kick there, lifting her head still every 3 or 4 strokes. So very interesting, the two styles. But just sitting on their wash, I think that's the competitor from Sorrento. Just sitting on the wash. Probably getting a bit of a free run there. So again, we've seen that tactic work well, and we'll see what happens as these ladies get closer to shore.
Just got our camera and heading over to you there, Tree. So Liam makes his way over. This is an exciting finish here. Just the advantage of sitting on someone's feet. This is all about technique and strength. And I reckon, Tree, when your heart rate's this high, it's all about whether you want to win it or not. So they start to spread out now. Maddie Thompson, such a good swim in the Taplin relay today. But this is absolutely game on. Stroke rating, kick up. Here we go.
Yeah, Madeline's just put her nose just in front, and you're right, this is the time where you've been going pretty hard. If you're a superstar swimmer, you might have something left in the tank, but just have a look at that strong sprinting style action there of Madeline on the right, as opposed to Jade, who's got a nice strong upper body, looking at the course where she's coming in. And just on her feet, that may well be Romy from the City of Perth as well. So she's sort of snuck in on the feet there. She might have a little bit more energy as we make our way in. But Jade Mickle just coming back up to Madeline saying, you want to be the best surf race swimmer in Western Australia, you've got to beat me. Have a look at Madeline go. She's picked up again. 3 or 4, maybe 5 metres left in this swim. And this is going to be an amazingly close finish. So 1-2 there. Madeline on the far right. Jade Mickle on the far left, neck and neck. They'll be looking at each other under the water through their goggles. They'll be looking, saying, if you've got what it takes...
made a move. Jade Mickle's made a move, Truey.
Yeah, absolutely. So probably just ahead in front. Let's have a look at how these ladies get up to their feet. Jade's up onto her feet first. Madeline's running. Jade high legs. Looks like it's going to be up the travelator for Jade Mickle today for a very, very close race. Back to Madeline from Trig Island and Romy from the City of Perth. Amazing racing. Well done, girls.
What a great race that was. The City of Perth, people have gone crazy up here. All sitting in the shade under the big tent, the red and white tent. Jade Mickle, just that first dolphin, wasn't it, Truey? They stood up together, the first dolphin, got her that sort of 1 metre in front, and then she, such a tough competitor, so experienced, Jade Mickle takes out the women's swim.
Yeah, we see that so often in not just swim, but in the ball. The first person who can get to their feet, even if it's just for that bit of a dolphin, get the blood and the legs going, quite often wins the race. So really good tactics there. She did drop to her feet a little bit earlier than normal, but today that's just paid off, and she's taken out first place in the open female surf race.
I saw her just before she went into the water, Truey, and I said, Jade, how are you going? She went, yeah, all right. So I think she'd be pleased with that. She wanted to get a win for the club. Let's not forget, in this format, in round 1 of the WA Surf League, this format, every place counts, doesn't it, Truey? Everyone's got to finish, push up, get some points for your club. Really, really important. Everyone puts in their best on each and every outing.
Yeah, absolutely. And while that was an individual race, every single one of these competitors, all they've been talking about for the last few weeks is taking out that team trophy. So there is prize money on the line, but more importantly, there's pride of being the winning club today in round 2 or round 3, and really just putting in the big effort for your fellow club members.
All right, our beach referee down here at North Cottesloe tells us the male swim final is on, folks. The male swim final is on. Grant True will take us through the field. Our male, one of the big races. You see Simon Hootengar in the water down there as well. He's been a bit grumpy today, Simon Hootengar. He's got his game face on, a little bit grumpy. Wants to win this one. He's got the grumpy bloke's face on today, Hootengar.
Yeah, thanks, Simon. And you're a brave man to call Simon Hootengar grumpy because he's tough. So I'll be watching out for him later on. But definitely Simon Hootengar. He's the one to watch today. We've also got Callum Smith. Callum Smith, I think, is out there, second at the state championships last year. Lachlan Meldrum, I think, from Triggs is having a swim today. He did really well, and he's more of a short course specialist with doing really well in the tube last year. He's going to be one to watch. And then we just already saw Tommy Gallagher win the board. He's backing up for a swim. And then his teammate there in Max Anderson-Loke, third in the 19s at the States last year. So really strong field, but I'd say everyone's going to be wanting to try and beat Simon Hootengar today. Right off to a start here, not much of a bank at all. 5 or 6 strokes, big dive, and then straight into the stroke. So the course is a little bit longer than what it was for the Taplin, because that was a short course format. So again, that might well help Simon Hootengar in the back end. But Mullaloo and Sorrento doing well on the right here. But at this stage, it's just about finding their right spot and then working on some tactics just to trying to save a little bit of energy.
He didn't get a great start, Simon Hootengar. He didn't get a great start. He won the swim through Rottnest yesterday, Truey. So he's in good form. He was over at Rotterdam and he had a win. He didn't get a great start, but he's now found his way to the front of the field. So he just didn't quite get away as smoothly as he wanted. He really wants this. I think we're cracking jokes about him being a bit grumpy, but he's got his game face on. The pure surf competitor Simon Hootengar, so strong as a swimmer, but has won state Ironman titles courtesy of this amazing swim leg and his will to win. He's a tough hombre, Simon Hootengar. If you're watching at home, this is the boys going around the can, and it's game on here because Hootengar will find himself back a little in the field. The boys are move around to the apex now. It's a longer swim, as you said, Truey, but Hootengar's one what we do have our eyes on today.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, that's Jack Wilson there from Mullaloo. He's actually probably got about half a body length lead, and he had a really good line, a really good start. Nice tall fella, so that may have helped him just get that extra bit of running step, and off to a very good start. But look, some of the more experienced competitors out there, they'll know where they sit. They'll be looking forward, looking back, looking to see where their main competition is. But Jack Wilson at the moment, Mullaloo Gold, off to an absolute cracker of a start, and he's led out this entire field by probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 strokes already. So not as much of a draft as we see in the boards, and none of those competitors will actually be getting any advantage off Jack's feet. So it's an even playing field at the moment. And now we've just got to see if Jack Wilson from Mullaloo can hold on.
Yeah, well called, Truey. That's a fantastic first half from his, isn't it, from Jack Wilson. That is a great swim, considering what he's got behind him. So just all grunt today, isn't it, Truey? You called it right at the start today. Flat water conditions, no swell, all grunt. Some tactics, of course, but the long strokes, upper body out of the water. He looks fantastic as he makes his way back to North Cottesloe Beach. This is the closing stages of the men's final, the swim, the big one. Here we go.
Yeah, so look, Jack Wilson, he's just like maybe his hero, Simon Hootengar, a 5 and 10K specialist. So he's done well at National Open Water Championships, and with a stroke like that, it's no wonder. Look how smooth, look how efficient it is. Nice high elbows, and just like Jay Mickle, we see him looking up every 3 or 4 strokes. But just on his left there, that may well be the Trigg Island competitor. Can't quite see exactly who that is. May well be Callum Smith there, just coming up onto his left-hand side. But at the moment, it's all Jack Wilson. But have a look at Callum coming on the left-hand side. Might have caught him napping a little bit. And where we saw in the ladies, it was a neck and neck the whole way. Callum Smith, he's just sat back and waited for the right time to pounce. So he's gone straight past Jack there, probably doing an extra 10 to 12 strokes every 100 metres. But that rating's really come up.
Here we go, Truey. Get down on the beach, folks. Exciting finish coming up. Let's make some noise, North Cottesloe. Here we go.
So once again, we see Callum to his feet first. That paid off for Jade Mickle. But have a look at Jack here, running up. But well done there. Callan from Trig Island played his cards really well, just waited for the right time to pounce. Bit like we saw what Stephen Bird do in the ski race earlier, and again that's come up with maximum points there for Trig Island.
Yeah, good finish from Freo there too. I spoke to that young guy earlier on today, AJ I think from memory, a quietly spoken guy, one of the young guys, and he just nudges out the great Simon Hootengar there. So Freo pick up some valuable points. Great finish there. We're going to talk to Jade Mickle in just a moment here on camera because she took out the female race. Exciting finish in both the male and the female swims. Not far away from, in fact, we've got Jade Mickle with us right now, so Liam gets them on camera. Now, Jade, we're broadcasting to home, mybeach.com.au. Give everyone a wave. Hey, when you went into the water, I said, how are you going? You said, yeah, not bad. You wanted to win that, and I think that was evident the way you raced. Neck and neck with Maddie coming in, pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's always really close in these sort of conditions, and I think it makes it exciting for people to watch.
Was very exciting. You got up first, nice big long dolphin to get yourself home there. What were you thinking in the last sort of 30 metres of the actual swimming part?
I know I've been told a lot by my dad that first people to stand up, first people to get going.
Gives you a lot of advice, your dad, doesn't he? Gives everybody a lot of advice, Greg, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's always got some words to say.
Well done. City of Perth pick up some good points there. You and Maddie, looks like you might be duking it out the whole summer, you two, hey?
Yeah, especially in that swim leg, we're always neck and neck, especially with that other girl from Trig, Makara Malice.
Well done today, Jade. You get the win, and it was fantastic to watch. Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Jade Mickle down here on North Cottesloe takes out the final of the women's swim today, and a very exciting finish. And we've just seen an equally exciting finish in the men. We'll try and get our winners to you in just a moment. I hope you're enjoying round one of the WA Surf League, wherever you're watching at home or listening down here on the beach. Just down here, round one of the WA Surf League. We have 3 of these magnificent events this summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are. We go to the beach flags just a moment, just having a little break down here in the beach flags. We go to our final 4. Grant True will take you through the beach flags in just a moment. We hope to get the winner of our men's swim leg, Callan Smith from Trig, in just a moment. So we'll try and get Callan over to our camera position shortly. So Callan, if you can hear us, come and have a chat. Great day down here at North Cottesloe. Hope you're enjoying today's racing.
Thank you, Simon. I think we're just in range here. How we go. The flags are down to the final 4 for the ladies, and Gabby Murphy, she's in there. Tegan already won the sprint. She's still in there. And then we've got the, I think it's the Rafferty girls from Sorrento, A and B. We've got Sydney Rafferty and Taylor Rafferty. So the sisters there teaming up really nicely. And if you think they're quick, they've got their little sister, I think Charlie. She's also done well in the nippers in the under-14, taking out the sprint flag double last year. So let's see how these younger girls go. The Rafferty twins, or maybe not twins, Rafferty sisters versus Gabby and Tegan.
Grant True down here on the beach calling all the action. I'm Simon Beaumont. I hope you're enjoying it. No surf carnival will be complete without someone losing their keys. We do have a set of keys over here under the white surf life-saving tents down here where our marshals are and our officials. Just check your pockets, check your bag if you've lost your keys. They're over here. Every surf carnival, Truey, someone leaves their lights on and someone loses their keys.
Yeah, thank you, Simon. So I think that might be Sydney that got knocked out there, leaving Sister Taylor to go head-to-head with two of the more experienced beach flaggers in Western Australia, in Tegan and Gabby. So Gabby, very, very strong in beach flags. We saw her do really well, winning the state championships last year. Tegan got second at last year's states, but Tegan had a really good win in the beach flags at the first carnival of the year. So I'd say it's going to be pretty tough for Taylor, but she did well in that run, down to the final three.
Well, called, Truey, the amphitheatre of North Cottesloe as the girls walk back down. Tegan taking out the beach sprint, as Truey said. She's in good form, wants to win today too. She's got the game face on, Tegan from North Cottesloe.
Yeah, Simon, so just down, we've just seen the final four run through for their flags, and there's three names that you would definitely expect to see there, and they've come up trumps in there. So Charlie Rigby, Jackson and Tommy Knowles from North Cott there. First, second and third runoff, and well done for, I think it was William there, William Host from Trig Island into fourth place. So the big names are there. Charlie's going to be pushing hard to try and knock off probably Jackson or Nolan today, but we'll have to wait and see after the ladies' race.
Yeah, so Charlie Rigby successful in the beach sprint today from Sorrento, so watch out for Charlie Rigby to strut some more of his stuff. Back to you, Truey.
So down to the final three. We've got Taylor, Gabby and Tegan there. So they're just getting themselves set here. Nice flat start. Really good running arena today. They've done well to get it nice and flat and nice and even for all competitors. So they're just getting themselves set. 2 flags down for 3 competitors. And once you're through this, it's into the grand final. So we'll let them get settled and pick them up. Very, very strong start there by Tegan in the middle. And I think she's just got her arm in there in front of the younger Rafferty there. So well done. Sorrento 3 and 4. And the Vickies today will be going to either Gabby from City of Perth or Tegan from North Cottesloe. Let's see if she can do the double. She won the sprint. Can she do the double in the flags? Okay, and Charlie, Tom and Jackson here going head-to-head for the final 3 in the men's beach flag. So these guys are very strong. These are national level competitors. So Tommy Nolan, Jackson Simmons, both their fair share of open medals at the Australian Championships. We saw Tom Nolan get second last year. Jackson did very well as well. I think took out number 1 at the state championships last year. And then Charlie Rigby, he was third in the 19 at the Aussies last year. So very, very strong competitors. And just diving there, and it's young Charlie Rigby there just dropping out. He'll take home some valuable points for the second Sorrento team. And it's back down to Jackson and Tom. How many times would these guys have raced off over the years? Both at carnivals, state championships, and at the Aussies. So they'll know exactly how they race. And this is going to be another crackerjack final. But just turning our attention now to the ladies. Tegan there from North Cottesloe, closest to the ocean. Gab Murphy already down, getting herself set. Both of these competitors have won medals at national championships, and they seem to always be the last 2 left at state championships. So again, good friends off the course, off the beach, but when it comes down to racing for that last flag, it's everything on the line. Rightio, go Ben Teagan. Looks like Teagan might have just got an arm in front there. That was an extremely close run there, but just that middle course strength there from Teagan, just enough to get a shoulder in front, and it's very hard to get around someone once that's the case. So really good racing. Teagan from Northcott taking out the double today in the female sprint and female beach flags.
Nicely called, Grant. Grant True down at the beach flags. Beach flags, the magnificent beach flags, such an iconic part of surf lifesaving. And great thing about surf competition, swimmers, runners, paddlers, everyone gets to go. The Ironman not far away, so the multi-sport guys, the multi-sport specialists not far away. Exciting racing here, round one of the W8 Surf League, Truey.
Yeah, thanks, Simon. Back down here in the flag, so down to the last two men, and these guys are fast and strong. Just watch how fast they turn around and get to their feet. So Jackson and Tom there, good mates as well. They've competed against each other for years, and they'll know exactly what they need. Lead the season still, but each one of them wants to take bragging rights from this round one of the Surf League. Okay, very strong start there. Tommy Nolan first to his feet, but Jackson Simmons, that middle course speed has just got him at the win for today. So not the best of starts from what I can see, but I'm no beach flag expert, but he was a little bit behind, but that early leg speed really put him in good shape there. So big win there for Jackson. Tommy Nolan into second place. Thank you, and welcome back, viewers. So we've just seen the final of the men's beach flags, live streamed around the world, and today I'm lucky to be joined by our winner, Jackson Simmons from Sorrento. So fantastic run there. How was it?
Yeah, no, it was really good. It's probably my best return for the day against Tommy. He's a quality competitor, so anyone sort of bring my A game against him, and yeah, just lucky enough to come away with the win.
Your early leg speed and probably the next 10 steps was quite amazing to watch there. Really got in front of Tommy early, and I suppose that's what you need to do to dominate a flag race.
Yeah, it's all about getting in front, shoulder in front, and just sort of protecting the flag, making sure that it's on your side and you've got a clear run to it, so you're not in the body contact, which can go either way. So yeah, just had to try to get across early and cut him off where I could, and yeah, lucky worked off.
Very good. So thank you to Jackson, the winner of the Open Beach Flags today. Thank you. And we're going to go straight to Simon, who's got the winner for the female beach flags.
Yeah, she had a good day today, Tegan Mafshoni. She's won the 90-metre beach sprint and the beach flags, and she's got a big smile on her face. All your students at home are watching, going, go, Maf. Hey, well done. That was important for you today, not only for you, but getting some points for the club, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It was all about the team today, so you can put that extra bit on the line and go for it.
Take us through the final. How did you approach it going in?
Look, Gabby and I have been the last two for quite a while now, so pretty used to turning next to her. I knew what I had to do and just had to have a crack at it today.
So for this year, for we're going into this 2017-2018 summer, what's the target for you, Tegan? What's lighting you up?
Definitely building up towards Aussies, especially being here in Scarborough. So, yeah, looking forward to having a good hit out there.
And today's format, the WA Surf League, we've got 2 rounds to go. So it's awesome to see so many people down here. We know people are watching at home. We've got to get them down here, hey?
Yeah, absolutely. Come down. This is probably the most fun I've had at a surf carnival in a long time. It's similar to a state team sort of experience. So, yeah, can't wait for the next one.
Two first today, and then you pick up some points for your club as well. Well done, Tegan.
Cool. Thank you very much. Thanks, Surf.
Tegan Mafshoni wins the beach sprint and the beach flags today. Thank you, Tegan. All right, Chewie, they're starting to assemble down here. Now, there's a little rumour doing the rounds. If we can pull this off, it'll be awesome, that maybe TJ Hendy may be racing in the men's Ironman today. We've got to try and get him on a plane at the same time, but we've got a bit of gear ready for him. We're not far away from the start of the women's Ironman. Will TJ Hendy take the start line, which will be awesome here at round 1 of the WA Surf League.
Thank you, Simon. And as you mentioned, the ladies are getting themselves set for the Iron Woman today, and we've got, I think, Ruby Warren from the 4th and the 19 at last year's state championships is in there. Jade Mickle, we've already seen her win the swim. She's a very, very strong Iron Woman. She did really well at the Aussie titles a couple of years ago, taking out 2nd in the 19 at the Aussies. She won a few weeks ago, so she's definitely in very, very good form. And then also look out for Cottesloe. So Sophie Lloyd from Cottesloe, she was 2nd in the under-17 at the state championships last year. So good to see Cottesloe back there. I think we're going to see Glen Eldon racing later on in the Open Ironman. But 8 competitors out there, and probably the one to watch again is Jade Mickle from City of Perth. The competitors just getting their final instructions for the course. Quite a few cans out there. Not the traditional cans that are set for a normal carnival. So they're probably just getting their instructions on which yellow can to go around, and then the run course for the transition. So most people look at the Ironman or Ironwoman race and say it's got 3 legs in it. But for those that have been involved or have heard the great Ironman and Ironwomen talk about it, there's the 4th leg, which is the transition. So lots of running. They're going to do this run course 3 times, and that's going to amount to about 300 to 400 metres of running. So very important part of the Iron Woman race, the ski, swim, board with a run transition in between each leg. So let's have a look how these ladies go for the start. And I think the strength in this field is going to come from those middle 3 competitors.
All right, they're away, folks. The final of the women's Ironman. Away they go. Let's give them big cheers. They head off the beach. So exciting, the multi-sport event. You heard Chewie give a great preview there of the favourites. And this is a big one for the coaches and for the clubs as well. Always a great spectacle Ironman in both the men's and women's. They've grown up on it, and they are away in the first of the ski legs. We're still waiting confirmation to see if TJ Hendy can make a start in the men's Ironman today. The big hitter, the big gun, the winner of the first race of the Kellogg Series this year. Will TJ Hendy make a start? He's got to get on a plane, Chewie, but hopefully we'll see him on the start line. They're off and racing, the girls.
Yeah, thanks, Simon. Jade Mickle in there, just sitting on the wash of fellow clubmate Kieran there. Very good ski paddler. She did well at the last carnival. I think probably in the top 3. So ski is definitely her strength here, and she's there as predicted. Off to a very good start, coming around that first can. So 1-2 at the moment. These ladies they all train together. They swim, run, board every morning, every night. So they know exactly what the other one's strengths are. And we may well be seeing some cunning tactics there by Jade Mickle, just sitting on Kieran's wash there, just trying to save a little bit of energy. We've seen Jade in the swim, very, very strong. So she may be just saving a little bit of energy to really stamp her authority on this race in the swim. Sophie Lloyd there doing very well, I think in 3rd or 4th spot at the moment. And then we look back to, that might be Lillian from Motherloo in 3rd position. So still nice and tight. You see them while they're doing a lot of work out there. There's not many that would be putting their whole race out there so early with these conditions. There's really no advantage on the way in or the way out, although we do see a slight little chop just coming from the north now. Just as you'll see these boat crews row past, there is the smallest of little runs available, and you just see a little bump there coming under the skis for these two leaders, and it's not a lot. It's hard to see, but you can see them just picking up the rating. They'll feel it, and if they can just get a little run, that's going to give them about a 2 or 3 metre extra lead, and you see that little small run actually extend that lead out to maybe 10 metres for current race leader Kieran from City of Perth and Jade Mickle in second place. So we see this transition run, legs are burning, they're thinking about what they're doing next in the next leg, where they want to be placed. Goggles are going on around this last can, and I dare say we're going to see these two competitors extend that lead further.
Yeah, nice call, True. Give all the competitors a big cheer, folks, as they come through. All getting some points for their club. Come on, it's not just about Jade and the front runners. Let's bring them through. Go, you guys. Get stuck in. Every point counts in this format. For everyone watching at home, we see our 2 lead swimmers. Jade Mickle just is flying into that swim leg. We saw she won the swim leg today. Great finish. This is where she wanted to be.
Yeah, that's exactly right. She might have used some tactics there just to save the energy, but she's come straight up there challenging for the lead. But we saw third place, Lillian from Mullaloo. Very good ski paddler there. And the competitors from Trig Island now, Ruby and Meg, they're just coming up onto her wash there. And then we look back to Sophie Lloyd, I mentioned. She got second at last year's under-17 state championships. She knows how to race. And then Ashley Booker from Sorrento A. So you see all in a line here, getting as much assistance as they can on the way out. And just there we see, I think Jade Mickle's just taken the lead there, moving into the board race later on.
She'd be full of confidence after winning the women's swim, wouldn't she, Jade? And no doubt Dad Greg gave her a bit of advice, the famous nickel name, Soraya Lee in third place from Sorrento. So thanks to the Sorrento guys for pointing it out. They're pretty proud of Soraya, and she goes around that can in third place, but making a move on second. So Soraya Lee taking from Mullaloo taking, you see Soraya from side on, she's taking just a centimetre at a time out of second place, and she's about to move into second, I reckon. So Soraya Lee, big, long arms, long limbs, Soraya Lee from Mullaloo on the move, Truey.
Yeah, look, she's done really well there. So I think that's up into second place there. Very, very good swimmer there. And her mum's another legend of lifesaving in Western Australia. Amanda, very, very good ski paddler up there at Mullaloo. She's probably a little bit older than I am, but when I was racing, she was one of the ones to beat in the ski. So very, very strong genes in that family. And yeah, you're right. Just have a look at that stroke. She's lifting her head every 2 or 3 strokes. Nice high elbows there. And she's got her sights set on Jade Mickle. And I think Jade's going to have to probably get a little bit of a move along if she's going to keep this lead out of the swim.
Folks, the transitions, as Truey said, the run transitions are fantastic in the Ironman. So important in any of the multi-sport disciplines. But we see Jade Mickle about to hit the beach, so give him a big cheer. And folks, if you see your club member, give him a shout. Soraya Lee from Mullaloo's had an awesome swim leg today, so get behind her. Make some noise for the girls when they're on the sand. Give them some encouragement. The transition's all important here. The changing of the muscle groups as they go through the different disciplines. So Jade Mickle just lifts her rating ever so slightly. This is where she won the beach swim earlier on. And Jade Mickle about to hit the sand, Truey.
Yeah, absolutely. She's gone early again, straight to her feet. That tactics obviously worked well for her. So we saw 3 or 4 dolphins there, which tide has dropped, but she's just getting those legs moving early. So she's probably going to have most of this run course lead. And she would have just been looking back as we see Soraya stand up and just straight up on this little sand hill here. And she's turning. She'll see Jade here, and she'll be wanting to have a really good crack in this board. So Soraya, fantastic swim. The big mover in that Ironwoman race, right from about 3rd or 4th into clear second. So she set herself up well with that one leg, and we'll have to see how she goes chasing Jade and keeping the rest of the field off her wash.
Yeah, give them a big cheer. Well done, crowd. Let's get behind them. The girls well bunched together here as they go in. So Soraya Lee, great swim from her. Trig going in thirds. City of Perth going now. The board paddle, Truey, all important as the girls go in. And they're bunched together. Every point counts for all these clubs. So get behind the girls as they make their way around. We'll see them one more time. It's Jade Mickle, so strong today. They ran past the post here, Truey, just in front of us, and they pretty composed, pretty focused, breathing hard, heart rate high, but very technically proficient too, these girls.
Yeah, we just see Jay dropping to her stomach there just to rest those legs. So they've gone from the swim, they've done 2 runs, and then to go straight onto their knees in the board really puts a lot of pressure on their hamstrings, on their back, and it actually makes it a little bit hard to breathe, just the way that that your diaphragm sits around the stomach muscles, and you're reaching forward and pulling back. So this just short rest will not only rest their legs, but it just takes a bit of pressure off, lets them see where they're at, changes it to more of a freestyle stroke of 1 arm at a time. But these girls will just be trying to suck in a lot of oxygen. But Jade Mickle could be pretty comfortable there. There's no surf that's going to help the back markers today. So we see her just jumping up. She wants to do well in this race, but she also wants to race hard. It's not just about winning. It's about testing where you're at, seeing how well you go, keeping the pressure up the whole way. This is a very good race. And again, I think the race for 3rd, 4th and 5th is going to be another exciting finish.
Folks, if you're watching us at home, mybeach.com.au, this is Jade Mickle closing out the board paddle. Soraya Lee in second from Mullaloo. So Jade Mickle dominant today. Went into the lead in the swim after coming in second in the first ski. Jade Mickle makes her way. She's going to get a little run off that wave there too, Truey. So she looks fantastic. Great performance from Jade Mickle.
Yeah, very good, Simon. And I'm sure the crowd will give her a big round of applause. Last race for the ladies today. Dominant performance there. Well done to Jade Mickle, first in the Ironwoman, first in the swim today, and she'll be having a bit of a rest this afternoon. So well done, and this 3rd, 4th and 5th will be an interesting finish.
Yeah, well done, Jade Mickle crosses the line now. Well done, Jade. Give her a big cheer. But it is all about these guys. They're racing for points for your club, so bring them in, club people. Let's go. Soraya Lee, great performance, great swim leg from her. Sets up a great second place behind Jade Mickle. Well done, Soraya. Well done, Mullaloo. Bring them in, folks.
Trigg Island and City of Perth filling the 3rd and 4th, so still very valuable points. We spoke about Sophie Lloyd from Cottesloe holding off Trigg there. So really good racing there, quite close in the end for those 3rd, 4th and 5th. So these ladies will be having a well-earned rest and maybe watching a bit of cricket, or maybe even going back down onto the beach for patrol. So we'll have to wait and see.
Watching a bit of cricket. I'd like to see that. Do you reckon Jade Mickle's going to be watching the cricket this afternoon, folks? I don't know about that. Unless, if Greg makes her, she might. Well done to the Mickle family. For all the people watching at home, hope you're enjoying today. We go into the men's Ironman, and Truey, TJ Hendy is in the field. Mr. TJ Hendy, winner of the first of the Kellogg's rounds this year, is going to have a trundle today. He's going to get on a plane very shortly. But nice to see him here today. Big smiley face down there. Using a bit of borrowed gear today, Truey, but TJ Hendy in the field and looking $1 million.
Yeah, really strong field here. We know his credentials, and you know he's going to really push these other West Australian athletes. But just to have a look here, I'm just trying to pick up some of the faces that have turned up today. I think we've got Ben Jones. He won the state championships last year. I've seen Glenn Eldon out there with Mark Finnecane also with a paddle in his hand. Some of the veterans. Glenn Eldon winning this race at the state championships back in 1993. So some of these younger competitors weren't even born then, and Glenn's come back for this race. So really good club spirit. Wants to get some points for his team. So good to see him in there. As I mentioned, he's old. He actually used to train Mark Finnecane, just doing a bit of a warm-up. I've also got Jack Reddy, second at the state championships last year. He'll be having a crack here. And Wesley Gould, he won at the first Ironman race of the year. He'll be in really top form as well.
Yeah, nice work, nice preview from Grant True down here at the beach, North Cottesloe. We come to the final event on the program, I reckon, Truey. This is the men's Ironman, so Bit of Ripper Days racing. You hear all the athletes we've spoken to, wherever they finish today, have enjoyed the format and the crowd support. Final event today, folks. Get behind your club, get behind your team. TJ Hendy in the field today, just to add that little X factor, the superstar of Australian surf racing. Not far away from a start. The great thing about today's start, truly, being the ski leg, we get to just see that power. There's nothing more exciting than seeing the start being a ski leg, and that's what we'll see today. The big boys going hammer and tongs, all the horsepower as they head out. So not far away. Grab a bit of beach, folks. Come down and have a look.
Yeah, thank you, Simon. We'll be seeing the men do the same course as we saw the ladies. So I'm sure a lot of them would have been watching the female race earlier on just to see how their tactics played out. The tide has dropped just a little bit, so we're not going to get as much of a wade, but that's actually helping out towards the finish with the Dolphins. So little tiny sandbank at the end there. We see the competitors getting their final instructions. Going to be hard to see who's got the strongest ski leg in here today. Clear winners in the boards, clear winners in the ski. In the swim. But this might be just wait and see. So TJ, very strong ski paddler. Mark Finnecane, also a very strong ski paddler. And we'll see how they go later on in the race.
Yeah, TJ has got some borrowed gear, Tree, but having a crack, big smile on his face from Surfers Paradise and royalty, hey? Surf royalty with that surname, and he's a gun. So nice to have him here today. Him and Phil Clayton down here today, two legends of the sport in Australia. Phil Clayton, Ripper bloke, helped us with our launch of the summer season on Friday, and down coaching the kids over the weekend here with his mate Andrew Mosel. Onto the start line, Truey.
Yeah, so look out for TJ on the right on that green and grey ski. Probably Mark Finnecane in the middle on that grey ski. Doesn't get as much time to train these days as he's busy working and family and those sorts of things, but a very good ski paddler and really did well at last year's state championship. So watch out for him to take this ski leg out.
Here we go, folks. Make some noise. They're away.
Right, very clean start there. Looks like it is Wes in the middle there on the ski. Mark Finnecane. Look onto his left, Glenn Eldon there. As I said, Glenn used to coach Mark, so he would know exactly where his strengths lie. But little North Cott boys there, straight out in the middle, forming that nice early V. Not the best start there for TJ, but he's decided to stay away from the rest of the field. And he's probably coming up into the top four now. So, as I said, really strong start in the ski, but I think they'll be settling themselves down now just to find that little bit of wash, just to try and save some energy for the first run and then into the board.
Isn't it weird seeing a guy out there with no cap on, Truey? I was trying to work out what it looked different out there, but TJ no cap today because of his guest status in the field, but on a borrowed ski, but there or thereabouts, isn't he? So he's had as you say, he's a strong ski paddler, but he's on borrowed gear today. He looked at the paddle like he'd never seen one before as he's warming up, but they're around the top of the apex now and racing time.
Yeah, and I think you'll find that's maybe even Brendan Peters there from North Cots, just on the far right of the field. TJ just sitting there nicely on the wash there. Mark Finnecane still there, and then I think it's Wesley Gould there from the Mullaloo team, just sitting in that top three. So look at their rating, just dropped now. It was probably double that on the way out. They're now just starting to stretch out, get a little bit of length into their arms, trying to save some breath. Don't forget they've hit that big wall of wind, and that's really going to be causing them a lot of trouble. So probably also Riley Walker there, I think, is out on the ski on the right-hand side. So he's well positioned in that top four.
Final event of race one or round one of the WA Surf League, folks. Wherever you're watching it at home on Facebook Live or on mybeach.com.au, this is our final event of the day. You can see the handlers down there. TJ Henley in third.
Right, have a look at these guys. Get up straight to their feet, straight up that little sand hill on the Travelator, and they're really starting to work hard on this. So they're taking in some deep breaths, and we see Riley Walker join that top four. We see Brendan Peters there into third, chasing TJ and chasing Wesley into first place there. So lots of work for these guys to do, Nice long swim, and then they'll finish off with a board.
Fantastic to see TJ Henny in the field giving it a fair bit, just warming to his task. Good strong swimmer, the winner of Kellogg's earlier this year. So give him a big cheer, folks. Lots of good support on the beach. These guys are getting points for your club. See some of the younger guys going in there, some of the guys from Sorrento. But watch TJ Henny. No goggles, Truey, the old no goggles. And he is starting to make his move, I reckon, in the swim.
Yeah, look, he's just jumped straight on the feet of Wesley, the leader there, and probably just trying to, again, use whatever advantage he can. The first two seem to have broken away a little bit, and that main pack there, there's probably 7 or 8 competitors in there, so they'll know where they sit in that pack, and we see them just trying to get any little bit of assistance off that wash from the feet in front of them. But I think we'll see them when we turn this last can. We'll see them sort of open up a bit, and as we've seen all day, they'll start fanning out, trying to find their own water.
Yeah, we see him from side on, and you can see TJ Henry just starting to assert himself there. He goes past in like 5 or 6 big strokes there, True. He looks fantastic, doesn't he? Just so strong, so powerful, so experienced with TJ Henry from side on, a magnificent sight, sighting on the cans, and he finds himself in the lead of our final event, race 1, round 1 of the WA Surf League.
Yeah, absolutely. So they're all in a line there, and you can see that first main pack's actually come up onto Wesley's feet there. So they pulled them right back, and it's all in a line. So TJ's out there doing the hard work. Everyone else is just using some good tactics there, just to sit on his feet, get a little bit of a wash. Don't forget, these guys have got a run and a board to go. So still a long way to go. You could probably say halfway through this race, and really close racing, which is fantastic to see.
Final event, folks. Let's get behind these guys. Unusual to see a guy out there, our guest celebrity racer today. No cap, no representation. He is from the Surfers Paradise Club, and he finds himself in the lead courtesy of a big swim leg. We'll chat to Jade Mickle if we can find Jade in just a sec, the women of the Ironman. We'll chat to Soraya Lee as well. The board handlers getting ready for this final leg. So, folks, if it's your club, you see your club colours, give them a cheer once they're on the beach. Those of you cheering at home, hope you're enjoying today's racing. This is TJ Hendy, one of the big names in surf, heading up the swim leg here in the Ironman.
Yeah, very close there. So we've sort of got this, we started off with 2 out in front. They've been joined by a competitor from City of Perth and Trig Island there. So what was 2 is now 4, and we just see the leading competitors there just lifting their head up. Just trying to get a bit of a line, and Max Anderson-Loke there into second there. So that's actually a fantastic swim. He's actually not bad on the board as well. So this is going to be a very, very nice finish there. So TJ up in front, running around that first. And then we look back to Wesley Gould, Max Anderson-Loke, Ben Jones from Trig Island. So 1, 2, 3, 4, all on each other's feet there. And into 5th position with Tom Gallagher there. So starting to hurt. Some of these guys have done 4 or 5. They're getting some last minute instructions from their handlers. But let's just see. So a fantastic transition there from Wesley there. And he's really just pulled probably about a 4 or 5 metre lead. And in these conditions, that could just about make the race. So we see Max there just dropping onto TJ's wash. Tom Gallagher's just dropped onto Max's wash. And Ben's just dropped onto Tom's wash. So all in a line, Indian file. And this is actually going to come down to a really, really close finish.
TJ, so experienced, isn't he, True? He went probably 50, 60 metres just on his stomach before he went up onto his knees. Now you can see him looking across to try and check out who was where. This is game on, isn't it? What a great race. We see great support for the guys coming through now as well. These are your fellow club members, folks. Give them a big cheer as they come through, racing the Ironman.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know these competitors are hurting because even though they're on their knees, they're doing 3 or 4 strokes, and then they're just sitting up just to let the board run. That's just to relieve some of the pressure. All of them now down onto their stomachs there, just trying to, obviously as they head into this wind, just trying to get their head down, trying to reduce that amount of wind resistance that they've got. And we just see Wesley Gould. He's gone straight up onto his knees and put in about 5 or 6 big strokes. So maybe that's the tactics coming through. TJ hasn't panicked. And Max Anderson-Loke has just put in another couple of big strokes there to try and stay on that wash. So this is going to be a very close race. people watching at home, start cheering in your lounge rooms. People on the beach, get your hands going soon because this is going to be a fantastic and a really close finish.
Wesley Gould's had a blinder, hasn't he? He's just absolutely tried to go off the front every moment he gets. Look at that rating go up now for TJ. Look at him just burying himself now up on his knees. Here we go, trying to get that little run. He goes past. Wesley Gould's had an amazing race. Game on, folks. Get ready to make some noise.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we saw in the ski, 10 hard strokes and the lead has changed. Max Anderson, he's sitting on that V-wash. Wesley Gould, he's done all the hard work, but now we just see 5 or 6 more big strokes. Little tiny wash here, little tiny run. Max Anderson, maybe able to get a run here. Wesley Gould just coming up onto the ankles of TJ. But first to his feet is TJ. Wesley Gould, he's a really good runner. This is going to be a fantastic run. That last leg in the Ironman coming down 1 and 2. TJ, Wesley, I think it's going to be a neck and neck. And it looks like it's just too close from here, but amazing racing. Tom Gallagher into 3rd spot, Ben Jones into 4th, and Max into 5th. But great racing and superstar finish there.
Yeah, it sure was. That was amazing. What about Wesley Gould, folks? Give it up for Wesley Gould. That was amazing today. Taking on the king. Just did enough. Just had a couple of looks over his shoulder. Wes Gould just refused to go away in all the legs today. Well done, TJ. Well done, TJ. Thank you, mate. Nice to see you here in Perth. TJ's got to get on a plane. Tom Gallagher's had a big day as well. He's won the board paddle today. He is absolutely spent, Tom, up there. And that was very exciting racing. Great for the future of WA Ironman when you see Wes racing like that. Look forward to seeing him in races rounds 2 and 3. Get behind your fellow club members, folks. Let's get them into the line. Racing for points.
Thank you, Simon. And last lot of competitors coming in. Glenn Eldon, very good swim aboard there. And I know he'll be happy to have beaten his old protege in Mark Finnecane. So good to see so many clubs getting all these teams filled. It's really important just to get any points that you can. And it's such a good atmosphere down here, everyone cheering, and so much friendship among these guys that are racing.
Folks, he's won the Ironman. He's a superstar of Australian surf racing. He's got to get on a plane. He's got to race it off to the car and don't speed, mate, on the way to the airport. Congratulations. Love having you in Perth. How was that?
That Perth offshore hurts your throat, but no, it was a bit of fun. Just no warm-up, but just jump on a ski to try to feel it out. And, yeah, the boys are moving, so it's a bit of fun.
Well done, mate. Great to see you here. Good luck, and we'll see you on the telly, hey? Yeah, thanks. TJ Hendy, folks. Give it up for TJ. He's got to go. He is that nervous about getting to the airport on time. Well, what about Wes Gould today? He was awesome, wasn't he? He was amazing. Well done, mate. Just while we're on the subject of Ironman racing, Soraya Lee picked up a fantastic second behind Jade Mickle today. Not sure where Jade is. She's probably off talking to her dad somewhere, getting some more advice. Hey, great swim leg today, and Mullaloo guys were very quick to come over. They're very proud of you. That was a good day for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm really stoked with that race, yeah.
So it sets you up for the rest of the season. What are you targeting this season, Soraya?
Hopefully to make the state team and race at interstates in Adelaide, but just try and do my best, really.
Important for the club to get some points today, so all the Mullaloo guys are pretty stoked.
Yeah, we've done really well today. It's great to have 2 teams entered, so yeah, we're all really stoked.
So back up to the club this afternoon, maybe a little bit of a barbecue and a bit of a chat, talk about a few war stories.
Yeah, hopefully.
Well done, Soraya. Fantastic day.
Thank you.
Soraya Lee picked up second in the women's Ironman today and one of the stars of the WA Surf League. Good swim from her. And Jade Mickle taking out the open swim and also the women's Ironman today. So good day for Jade Mickle. Hope you're enjoying proceedings at home. Folks, down here on the beach, to all of you watching at home at mybeach.com.au, Facebook Live, we're just about to wrap up down here on the beach at North Cottesloe. Round one of the WA Surf League has been run and won. Let's go to Grant True now with one of the standout West Australian performances of the day. Thank you, Truey.
Thanks, Simon. Yeah, look, lucky here to have Wes Gould. Very, very close finish in the Ironman there. Your swim was really good. You really put a big effort in there, and you entered the water in first place.
I thought it was more the transition was the difference. It's just trying to lift to another level and put myself in a good position going into the next leg. Obviously fingered at the end, but yeah, TJ maybe pushed to that next level that we don't really get over here racing in WA usually, so it's so good to race against him. Here, especially in the flat, there's no waves, no assistance, so it's just gut paddling and just trying to make it to the end.
Yeah, look, you're a fantastic board paddler. You took out the double at last year's States and the 19s in the Open in the board. Is the board still your strongest, or what are you doing to work on that ski?
Yeah, boards, I love boards, so any session on boards I really enjoy. Bit disappointed with the board race before. Just outraced by Tommy, so hats off to him. But yeah, I'm paddling a bit more on the ski and really putting in the work on the swim. Feel like that's let me down the last couple of years, so really trying to get rid of my weaknesses and try and make them all the strengths so that I can go around and be confident no matter what order it is.
Fantastic. Wesley, with an attitude like that, you're going to go a long way in this sport, and you're a great role model for the younger kids growing up thinking like that. So well done, great racing today, and we look forward to seeing you in round 2 in January.
Thanks, Wes. Yeah, well said, Truey. Wes was fantastic today, and really interesting when it took it to another level because TJ Henny was here. We're going to wrap up events now, you folks. We are down here at the finish of proceedings today for round 1 of the WA Surf League. We'll just go through some of our highlights today, I reckon, Truey. I thought Tegan Mafshoni was fantastic, taking out the women's beach sprint as well as the beach flags, and a big smile on her face. Plenty of fans at home, so Tegan was a standout performer for me today. Who did you like, mate?
Yeah, look, I like the performance of Stephen Bird in the ski. Really, just to take it to Reese, and you just see in a long ski race, 10 strokes can make all the difference, and he used that to his advantage. And I think probably the crowd favourite today for me was young Nikita in the board. Really, really good board paddle. She did well last year, but look, the crowd just went off its head when she won, and I think she was really happy.
Jade Mickle is a name familiar to people who watch and love the surf league here in WA. She had 2 wins as well. She won the swim leg, and she won the swim, and she also won the women's Ironman today. So a couple of our dual winners really spectacular. Soraya Lee was really good and one to watch this year. Wes Gould was amazing today, so we'll look forward to seeing him racing in round 2 in January. But the other, I suppose the real highlight was the format itself, and it meant every single point, every single finish for the 15 teams counted for the leaderboard, didn't it?
Yeah, look, and that was really evident in the boat area. So North Cott absolutely dominated today in the men's and the women. They took maximum points in the men's boats, 1, 2, 3, and then also a huge amount of points in the female boat. So North Cott, I think they're going to do really well on the points ladder today, and their boaties will play a big part in that.
Grant True and Simon Beaumont about to sign off down here on the beach. I hope you enjoyed our coverage today. Beautiful, beautiful conditions down here at North Cottesloe. Some surf Ironman royalty in the house too, Truey. Phil Clayton's over from Queensland coaching the kids today. What a legend he is. And then we saw TJ Hendy, that amazing Hendy name, racing here on Cottesloe. We'll wrap it up there, Truey. That's all from round 1. Thank you for your help today, Truey. Beautifully done. We look forward to round 2 when we go to our next venue in January. Hope you enjoyed the coverage today, folks.